23, 3.35. Now, for understanding purpose, I noted this balance. This is the balance, and this is also the beginning for the next month. Okay, what's your 1, 2, 3, 3. Now, let's, okay, what's the answer? Add this. Ilabu kizengo mena dhuruchi kwa nambangi. Okay? Kini usate kubu wasya mai vale. Dhuru nambangi. Okay? Sange meyo wasya. Okay? Dhuru me nambangi sange me wasya. Okay. 1, 2, 3, this is the total. 1, 2, 3, 3. Incoming opening balance for month of February. You total it up. What's the sum? 27,335. Can you see something? What's happening? Toso daketigo na lebu ni lavo. Okay? Toso daketigo na lebu ni lavo. E nangona dava sana kai toso sombu kina na wili ni lavo. Ngona dava? Nangono sa tigebu withdraw. Okay? Now withdraw time. Okay? Expenses 533, and for electricity and the same story goes down. Okay? Here goes on. And what's the total? 466. 27,333 minus 466, 4,666, please. Calculate that. Come again. 22,666. Any sense? Good. Naka. Okay, that's your beginning cash for the month of March, 22,666. Where did I get this from? Na balance merango. Go. Okay? Carry forward. Carry forward. Carry forward. Carry forward until December. Set. So shall we move on to profit and loss? Any question? Maybe so. That's my question to you. Yeah. Maybe so. Okay, you can make changes. Okay. Those that's beyond your expectation, beyond your control. Okay. You can control it. Those are external factors. Okay? Set? Donataro, semberitoso. Come on, we have only 20 minutes. Are you learning? Yes. Right, good. If you say no, I shall walk out the door. Okay, profit and loss. Apa sering mana profit and loss? Every tangan na tumbu selutu ni bisnis. Okay? Total na po sa ito mga tagin na in accounting, na loss, deficit. Okay? Right. Now, what's our income? Let's total the income. Total kedengo mana January kina December. 217,000. O songo na kedengo mana January kina December. Sulebi au with a 21. Oh, is that right? 217,000. 217,000. Oh my goodness. So that's your income. This. And that is also your gross income. Set. Come again? 10 cents. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. Good. Does that 10 cent matter? Right, good. We feel talika masta. Okay, let's move on. So that means I'll just have to total all this, yes? And maybe cut this. And I don't know whether it will match or not. Okay, let's fill it together. What's it? Expenses, administrative expenses is, can anyone give the numbers? Okay. 600, 6,400. 6,400. Oh my goodness. What's next? We got gas, electricity. Where is that? 3,000? Oh man. Come on, just remember the figures and 3,999.96. Next. Loan, interest on loan, 11,000, 11,599, 11,599 point. Good. Let's move on. 27 is for rent. 27. Triple nine. Good. 0.96 round off. Next, 6,004 4. What was that one? 6,004. Wages, good. Next. And this 49? Total, okay. Now let's total. It's 49. $49,599. 49,599. 0.84. What's the answer? Come again. Speak up, please. 49. Come again. 167. 400.26. Is it a profit or a loss? Profit. Okay? So you'll write there, profit. Okay? Can anyone tell me when will you get a loss? Okay, what kind of figure will you get when you have a loss? It's below. Give me any figure. Give me any figure. 100? Below 270,000. Below this. That signals that your business is, something is wrong with your business. So that is when you have to decide and make decisions. Okay? Wise decisions. Okay? Who will help you with that? Have you heard of business advisors? Okay? Where are they? Where are they? Will you go to Mr. Sam who's running a business? No, because he's your competitor. Okay? Go to business advisors because they dissect all the areas of business, all your financials, all your operations. There must be something wrong somewhere. In the operation, in the financial, in the administrative section. Yeah. Okay? Maybe there are some stealing going on. Okay? Set. Yeah. Yeah, that's after all, eh? Yeah, that's a bottom line. Okay? But what causes it? What causes it? That's what I was explaining. Right. Okay? The causing part is very important. Okay, when a tire is punctured, okay, what's important? All right. Less. It's how you solve that problem. That is very important. Okay, it's not about the cause of puncturing a tire. Yeah, the cause of that. The solution. How will you solve that? How will you help the driver to keep the vehicle running? Okay. Set. Any other question? Let's move on. Back to our case study. Okay. Now we have used all this. In our profit and loss and cash flow. So I'll highlight that. We are left with those information. Okay. Set. So far so good? So far so good? No? Good. Let's move on. Okay, cash at bank. Use that information. Cash at bank. Tahu sar mana cash at bank? Elabo chiguna bange. Visa. Visa. 24,600. Good. Cash on hand, elabo labo nganga sarang ay chigulingam. Okay? And elabo beka duir chiguna operation ni business. Sember ni duruena bange. Visa 8,000. Good. Okay, by the way, what is current assets? What is current assets? Assets, sorry. Okay, kita sendiri ni pamadal taka, tu matang main don na kena boritaki. Na kena example. Current, is it current assets? Cash. Nailabo. Okay? Nailabo. Okay? And that's current assets. Non-current assets? Nandami-dami, na tulili, na TV, na laptop. Okay? Okay? You'll use that in the business over time, and you can sell it off at the scrap value. And then what you'll get? They can get back some money for the business as well. Okay? So what's our current asset, non-current asset here? Back to our shop fittings, okay? 25,000, good. Display case, 16. $16,000. What's the total assets? Vida, you add all these current assets and non-current assets. Will give you 73,600. Now that tells you Okay? The value of the assets you have at that particular time. Okay? 30th, as at 30th June 2021. Let's move on. What is the meaning of liabilities? Money you owe. Nandinaw. Dinaw ng bange. Dinaw may samu. With Italian. Okay? Those are liabilities. And one of the liabilities that you have to, that accountants, they name as accounts payable. You have to pay this, okay? And what's the value in our case study? 4,600. 4,600. Good. Okay, what's the total net asset? What's our total net assets? Is 73,000, this is the formula, okay? 73,000 minus your liability. For, what's the answer, please? 69,000? Some more? Okay. Sorry. The liabilities is 4,600 and your net is 73,000 minus this will give 69,000. Now that's right. We'll move on to equity. Okay, what is equity? Your contribution and your profit together. Okay? That is called equity. Your contribution is your share, okay? In accounting terms, money is also called capital. Okay, the cash that you have, okay? Don't confuse yourself. What's our capital or what's Epeli's contribution? Or Mere, sorry. 25,000. What was the profit? Where will you get this information from? Profit. Profit and loss. 167,000. 160, oh sorry. 400. Okay, total equity, what's the answer? 192,000. This balance sheet simply has to, just to let you know that the value of assets, how much you owe, and your equity as well. Okay, just to let you know the position of your business. Okay? Esa wada batiko na no min business. E dava. E toso babina tiko sesenga. E lebu tiko na repair, e lebu tiko na expenses. Okay? Ngoe wata kilabiko na balance sheet. Okay? Wamata tabiko. Tatu. What's the position of your business? Okay? E dava tu wata tiki se durtuk matondonu se. Okay? Leu nangauna. Most of the times, we take it for granted. that when running a business, you are something, eh? Yes? Okay, as long as you have full stock in the canteen. But if you look at it very closely, you are running at a loss. Yes? Yes. Only when you use all these tools, okay, then you're able to see you're able to prove, oh, okay, I have to make some improvements. Okay, I have to put some more capital. Okay? Okay. Apart from that, I just want to ask you, why do you need grants? Why do you need some more funds? Why? Expand the business? So what guarantees to the funders that you'll use that money properly, in a proper manner? Ada ba vandindin taka vera era soli labo, ni na bang taka pa pinakanilabo. Business plan? Is that a true picture? Statement? Statement maybe. What kind of statement? There are a lot of statements. Balance sheet, whatever. Your audited report. Okay? That proves to the bank, oh yes, this guy will use this money properly. Okay? The other thing why you borrow money is to leverage your business. Melaweta talent do na wata ngendi. Okay? You have to know all those kind of the reasons why. Okay? Sinyo kertu ilabutu nga Italia. Yo bada ba vera semberinte kamu. How may kerendi now? Kilo kepa umbange. Endo naka sati yo tu. Okay? Wandindin takabeau that you use this money properly. And I believe that this is one of the main weakness why our business is failing all the time, failures. Okay? And we are failures in business. Why? Because we start with we start with nothing. Okay? Sweat manda. Okay? Buno manda and then ask for paisa. Said? I'm challenging you. Okay? You must have got maybe an idle land. Okay? So that's part of your contribution maybe. Okay. What else can you do with that land? Okay? Okay, are we okay with the business plan? Set? This is the trick. Only Vale, go home, look at the case study, and follow it through slowly, okay? Then you'll understand. Okay? Ngayon kilawin nak. Rather than a case study, rather than no more, where is this? No more Excel. Where somebody download Excel and then try to link it up. Okay? And ensemble those numbers in these 3 statements. I think we have to stop here and. So what are we going to be? Set? Okay, just before that, before the next speaker comes in, I just want to quickly brush through the cooperative concept. Think and start cooperative. Sorry. Okay. Just have to understand what is building good relationship. Okay. Collective actions, features of cooperative, and its uniqueness, and also the formation steps of cooperative. Okay, what is cooperative legally speaking? Okay, in any registered business or business structure, okay, you must have known and learned from Mr. John Apted. It's a sole trader. Okay, that's the first business structure, or registering your business. Second is partnership, company, trust, and cooperative. Okay. Once you get registered, you are allowed to run your business lawfully. Okay, if you are trading, maybe at a smaller scale, and then you have expanded, okay, to that level, okay, once you are caught, you'll be paying a hefty fine. Okay, on to this concept. Why this concept? What's the real meaning of cooperative? It is a business entity and formed, okay, from the Cooperative Act 1996. It also has governing documents, Cooperative Act 1996. It has bylaws, it has policies, and also handbooks and SOP, standard operation procedures, to govern the members. As alluded by one of the speakers, it's also separate from its shareholders. Okay? Whenever it runs into any bankruptcy or in those situations, only the cooperative will be, assets will be taken, okay, by the bank and not the members. In this concept or business structure, the practice that often employed by the members is voluntarily and democratic. Where do you hear this word, democratic? Where? The government. What does it mean? What does it mean? I have the right, I have a say. Okay? One person, one vote. That's democratic. Okay? Building cooperative spirit. Have you heard about those old boys? Okay? What kind of spirit do you see in them? QBS, Marist. Yeah. Togetherness, they care for one another. Okay? Even I.T.S, old girls or old boys? Right? They have this kind of spirit that, connects them, okay, and keeps them going, okay. The togetherness, okay, the love, the care, okay. We also have this spirit in the cooperative movement. This is called the cooperative spirit, okay. What binds them, or what connects them, or what ties them together? The Senate. What's the Senate? Serve according to laws and regulation. abide by the Cooperative Act 1996. We have the SOP that connects them all together, that guides them, that governs them. Okay? So whenever a new member comes in, he or she can feel the environment, the not tense, but the governing environment that is in the business. Okay? So what will that guy say? Okay? Hey, I have to be careful. I have to. Okay? I think I have to stop here. If you are interested in knowing more, maybe if you have some time, then I'll continue. Over to you, Sammy.
Right, could I just request that you all stand up, please? Can see that some of you are already dozing off to sleep. We have just started, remember, eh? All right. Just stretch your limbs, your arms and legs. All right, just take a breath of fresh air while we put up the presentation, eh? All right, now you may sit down. I know that there are a lot of Kava or Yangona farmers that are sitting here today, right? Today we are so privileged to have Mr. John Sende. Mr. John Sende is a Fijian, right? And he's a big entrepreneur. There's so many types of businesses that he does, right, all around the Pacific region. All right, Mr. John Sende, on behalf of the university, we'd like to welcome you today. During this presentation, you can see there's a full house here, and people are really looking forward to hearing about your Kava Corporation, all right? And without further ado, I'd like to just invite the audience just to give him a round of applause, please. All right, here he is. All right, you can stand there. I think some of you already know this gentleman here, eh?
Really?
But right now he's frightened to speak.
Okay. Thank you, Semi. Welcome and bula to everyone. You must forgive me. This morning I was at a Kava think tank committee meeting since 9 o'clock. So if I'm talking and I mention Kava too much, just understand that I've been talking Kava all morning. So bear with me. Thank you. Yes, first when I got the invitation to come and say a few words and share my story with you all, I was a bit I was actually very humbled because I thought, oh, maybe my story is not good enough. There are better people and others that have done much better. So anyway, I'm here, so you just have to put up with me. Well, first I just want to make some qualifications. Should I speak in English or should I speak in Fijian or what?
Fijian English, both.
Huh? I speak better in Fijian, so. Antonia? Really? Okay, the majority wins. Iyo vinaka o dimberanga ni tekebu pakamadala tekiau. O kere muna pia pitangana ka mo wa tune sonaka una ka endai. Se sonaka una varitaka. Membaleta na nungu tos tikumai. O kere mo ni reida ena reinga waka dambeka. Ana alo matua bata usi dena sona nunuma ni uvi mai tukutuku ni okina. Vamos a querer money reda, vamos ena rara da que vio mo madal taka. Me vamos bali be kemuni batena ka adve. Ndo ko querer money kun reda ni. Tele o John la ngame ke me va madal te ko chunga.
John, maybe you could just speak English.
Okay, sorry. Oh my God, yeah, okay. My God. Well, we'll go back to English. Stick with the basics. Yeah, okay. So what I'm trying to say is that some things I will mention today and some examples I will share with you is, you know, it's going to, I don't want you to interpret it as me trying to be boastful. So that's one. And two, you know, I'm a very simple guy. I come from very humble beginnings, so don't think anything. I'm only big in size only, but that's, you blame my parents for that. Okay, so just want to also just briefly explain, mention who am I, my background, what I'm about, how I came about to starting my journey, and the influences that have occurred that have shaped me into who I am today. So, yeah, I was born in Suva. You know, my mom is from Burro. Anybody from Burro village here? Good, I can expand a bit. And my mom died when I was 3 years old, so I was raised in the village with my other brothers and sisters. When I was a lot bigger, then we came to Suva first went to Suva Grammar, then ended up in Maris Brothers, and that's how I became a rugby player, man. I played too much rugby, I forgot about my education. I failed my university entrance twice. First at Grammar, second at Marist. But inside me, I knew that I was better than that. It's just that, you know, it was a situation at the time, you know, things were tough. The home was, you know, we were always moving, just didn't have the stability to get my head around what I was trying to do at school. So that's a bit of background, and then from Marist I got into rugby and went to play on for Suva, for Fiji, and thereafter, overseas as well. But in that period, there was a lot of things that shaped me. One was the struggle, of course, the young and the you know, the doubts and all that, but also the warmth about having family and having the village support around us at the time, and that at least gave me an anchor to know that I was better than that at some point I would come back and make myself who I really wanted to be. So with that background, I mean, yeah, that's a long, long time ago. That's when I had a lot of hair. So yeah, then out of school I went into the commercial banking area with the Bank of New South Wales at the time, which then later became Westpac. For a long time I was a commercial banking guy, then I moved into the foreign exchange part of the banking business, and the foreign exchange is about the trading of currencies. You're a foreign exchange dealer, so you know, we trade. When you want to send money to Australia, you come to the bank and buy Australian dollars. That's accumulated, and we have to go out into the foreign exchange market and buy Australian dollars at the right price and trade it. And so there's a whole trading thing around that. And it's from there that I thought that maybe I should go and get my education problems sorted out. I need to go and get my degree. So I tried to get, I started looking at scholarships, couldn't get it. You know, I tried everything. We were not that wealthy at that time, and never was, so we couldn't pay, I couldn't be a private student. And then one day I was sitting at home and, you know, thinking, how do I do this? And then the thought dawned on me, hey, you know, God made you, gave me the height, the strength, and made me a good rugby player. So I said, I'm going to use that to go and get my education. So I strategized around that, and I came to a resolution, and then I decided to go and train twice as hard, go to the gym. I never did that before. I was just playing rugby and going drinking on Saturday nights. And that's how the journey started. I trained in the morning, the afternoon, go to the gym. I got into the Suva team, I got into the trials, and then I made it into the Fiji team. And that time, as most of you will realize, there was no TV. We all listened to the game on the radio. And then happily, I made it into the 1986, and then in 87 we went to the World Cup. And usually, these are the stars that you hear on the radio when Australia plays France or England or the All Blacks. You only hear their name. And you always wonder, and you hear Graham Eden talking. So when I went to play, and when he played, we're standing in the line of these guys, and I think, this guy's just as big as me, I'm just as big as him. When they throw it, I jump, I beat him. But these guys, I always thought they were giants because I listened in the radio. And I said, wow, man, these guys are my heroes. And when he takes the ball, I tackle him, he falls, he tackles me, I feel it. And then it started to dawn on me, boy, I'm just as good as this guy. So that was the whole journey. And again, and as we played and as I got better, I'm saying, look, I think I'm just as good as this guy, if not better. But you must understand that for me, going into investing my energy and time into the rugby and into getting represented was for me to get a contract to go overseas. And my plan was when I go overseas, I will look for a university for me to then go and study while I was getting my head kicked in. So that's what I went to. I played in Wellington, and then I looked at the University of Victoria. The courses didn't fit me, and then I got a call from Canberra. The Tuggeranong Vikings wanted me to go and play there, so I went there. And I looked at the University of Canberra, and they had a Bachelor of Commerce in Banking and Finance, so that's the one I want. So I did it. So I basically, in the end, I graduated in that. I paid for it myself. We were rugby players at the time. It was amateur. We never got paid. I was working. I had a young family. And I got my degree. And then I realized that, I've got my degree now. I'm a world-class rugby player. I can take these guys on. Now let me transfer all of that into my business. So I started my journey in the business field. I made a lot of mistakes too. I made a lot of blunders. I never had a mentor to tell me, don't go there, don't do this. I learned all of that myself. So having done all that, and I applied for a job in Vanuatu, and you all know Vanuatu is a tax haven. It's an offshore financial center. A lot of wealthy people keep their money in Vanuatu because it's not taxed. A lot of wealthy people from here too got their money there. So then I worked there as a investment manager in the largest trust company. Then one day I saw an advertisement in the Financial Review, was a deputy general manager for a merchant bank in Papua New Guinea. So I applied for it, I finally got it. And this merchant bank was owned by Rothschilds, majority owner. And because at that time Rothschilds were financing gold mines, oil fields in Papua New Guinea. They had an office there. So I went to work there. And that's really where I started to learn, go into the deep aspects of corporate finance, of business, and how the Rothschilds did their ways, how they did business. So after my contract expired, I had that confidence. I started up my own company in Papua New Guinea. And I've built it up to today where it is one of the biggest, one of the most premier companies there. We manage, we're investment managers. We manage funds of about in excess of 500 million kina. And that's, roughly about 300 million Fiji dollars. And we do investments, we do all sorts of things. So the skills I've learned from there, the corporate governance and the depth, I've then built on it to create new investments for myself. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about Papua New Guinea. I'll just bring us more into Fiji, where when I returned in 2005, I started up my company they call Melanesian Capital. And over time, I've built up a portfolio of investments in all this range of companies. One is Nonovo Investments. This is a company that owns properties in Fiji. You know the BSP Samambula, That building is owned by Ngonovo. There's another few other buildings. It's a restricted company. It's owned by Tokais only that are in the VKB and those who has either parents in the VKB, and that's how I got in. I'm currently the chairman of that company. Kontiki Finance, I was one of the 4 guys that started that company. I'll come back to it and use that as an example, how we were able to translate an idea into a really successful and money-making business. And of course, Cover Corp is the one I'm working on right now. Well, Forestry is another company that owns a big farm of agarwood in Ra, near Ndama. There's more than 50,000 plants that are now matured, and we're soon going to start inoculating that. I also started up VT Mining Limited, and just recently, if you've seen in the news, I've just sold that to an Australian company. And I've also got a collection of private property. So please don't get, I'm not here to boast about myself. It's important to understand this. So let me just come back to, before that, I just want to explain that what I'm going to say is more the real corporate, it involves shares, it involves bonds, and I don't know whether it will connect, but let me try anyway. I'll try and make it simple. Because as all the other speakers, before me that had mentioned about the Cooperative Act, the Companies Act, and all these other laws, this is everything that we all have to start from. I was one day like you, listening to all of this. I've just had the benefit of time and experience outside of Fiji to really build myself up. So the process of accumulating wealth, it's starting a business is just the first part of it. It's a journey, really. And then if you really want to make it big, then there's a few things that you need to think about. Well, that's according to me, not necessarily, this is just what I think. Others might think differently. If we want to start a business, selling handicrafts from the flea market, then our market is really just the local market, or the Onga market, or tourists that come off the boat. So your growth options will only be limited around there. So that's why it's important to understand that. My way of looking at things is to get into something that is scalable to world-class standards. So if you think, why did I get into Yangona? Well, first of all, I'm a big covered drinker myself. I probably drink more than what we sell. And, but if we think about it, it's an emerging market. It's getting bigger in the US. And this, in the United States, the market is quite differentiated. One big chunk of the market is the Fijians, the Tongans, the Samoans, the Pacific Islanders in the US that drink it. But then there's the other segment, which is the growing part of it, is the Kevalangi Americans that are drinking it, and they go to cover bars, they sit around and drink, and that's where the growth is happening. So as more and more of the Americans get it, start coming on, it starts to build big global scale opportunities. So that's the reason why I went to it in a big way. Then we can talk about the details about where to get cover from, how to process it later. But I just need to give that it's scalable, that you can scale it. It's like agarwood. You plant a forest, you sell the oil to the world. You find gold, the world knows about gold. They'll put money in and invest it so that you become bigger. And that's also the other key part. Whether, like for instance, in the mining thing, where the scalability is about getting these companies to a point where for overseas or other investors want to invest in it, because we need other people's money to take us to another level. So, we can only invest our own funds into it and our energy. But to really go big, then you need to open it up to new investors to come in. But then it's how you structure it using the laws to protect your interest and how you can grow it. It's a technical area. Now it's hard to explain, but I'll try and come back to Contiki Finance and give that as an example. So you can see that most of them have scalable, the property, we can build it, finance it can, here in Fiji and regionally, cover east to the world, forestry, again, same thing. In the case of Contiki Finance, in 2013, there's 4 of us that got together and I saw an opportunity and decided to invest in it with a clear business plan and how to do it differently. So we did that. We all then put, I think, $500,000 each and got the license from the Reserve Bank. So that took a long time. And the key about it is that they had a solid business plan. They had the right people who wanted to run the business and build it. So we backed it. So when we got the Reserve Bank license in 2014, we started running the business. It started to grow very rapidly that by 2016, we had to put money in again, more capital to make it grow again. So by 2017, it had grown so fast that the $1 that we invested in 2014 per share had become $6 per share in 2017. So then we decided, how do we make it bigger and bring in new capital? So we decided to then list it on the South Pacific Stock Exchange. So again, we went through the application process. It took quite a while. It took more than a year. But in thinking about that, we say, look, if we're going to sell shares at $6 each, the people won't buy it. I mean, let's say it's cost too much. So how do we bring it down? But in the Companies Act, there's things called a share split or stock split. So we decided to do a stock split as a 10-to-1 stock split. So we reduced the stock price by 10 to 60 cents and increased the number of shares 10 times. So your relative wealth stays the same. So by the time our approval came to list on the stock exchange in end of 2017, again, the stock price had gone from 60 cents to $1.14. So it's kind of doubled again. Because there's new entrants come in and they buy the shares and the share price goes up. So in essence, the $500,000 that I invested in 2014 for 500,000 shares, when we did the stock split, it became 5 million shares. Because it's multiplied by 10. And then when the stock price went to $1.14, that 5 million shares times $1.14 became worth 6 million something, 6.2 million. But we only started investing with 500,000. So the process of how to make serious wealth, you've got to, it has to have an exit. Maybe the stock exchange is usually where we would go. So using that same model, that's what we plan to use for CoverCorp. One of our investments is halfway through that listing process. So, yeah, it's kind of technical and it might be missing the point is, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But it's important to explain how you start off a business with a view, how it's scalable, how you can grow it, and how you can attract investors to come in to take it to that level, and then you go to the stock exchange to list it so that the shares you own becomes tradable, it becomes valuable, you can sell it, and it becomes a source of cash. And that's how that cash comes back into your pocket. Because if you own a company or shares that is just doing your business, it is not tradable, so you can't sell it, so you can't monetize it, you can't liquidate it. So you've got to think about using the stock exchange. If I can come in give you a message today is to start thinking about that. How you can scale up so that the shares in your company that you have, you can then sell it to the new shareholders coming in. And that money comes back into you while you still also own a lot of shares. Now, I have to, so understanding that, I come back to Yangona. So Kawa Co-op, we've got a factory here in Doloisuva. It's certified to FDA standards. FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. It's HACCP Australia standard certified, which is equivalent to a factory in Australia. And also it's certified by biosecurity. So we buy our Yangona from Ngau. Careful with the Yangona from Ngau. Don't drink too much, but it's good Yangona. We buy from Netasiri, Namosi, and of course from Telem. And we process it according to the standards required of the market and then export. 98% of our production is exported. So the market in the US is big because, you know, at the moment there's almost close to 300 cover bars operating in the US. And if it wasn't for COVID, we'd probably be getting close to 500 cover bars. And the projection is that in probably another 3 years, it will get close to 1,000 cover bars across America. And this is mainly the Kevalangi Americans, not the Pacific Islanders. So if we take one cover bar uses, you know, 2 kilos a day as a minimum, and there's 100 cover bars, that's 200 kilos a day they're going to be consuming. So in a week, 7 days a week, that's each bar will doing about 14 to 15 kilos, usually around about 20 kilos. So if you got 100 bars, that's 2,000 kilos, which is 2 tons a week they're consuming. That's just the cover bar, the Kevalangi gang, not counting the Fijians and Pacific Islanders. So so there's already close to 300. So we're talking about 6 tons a week. So that's what I'm saying by it's scalable, you know? We can send it, it's going to grow. So now there's also something called the Codex Alimentarius. I'm not sure if most of you are aware of this, but it's a regional body attached to the Food and Agricultural Organization, which formulates the biosecurity laws for each country and how the commodities are traded amongst each countries. So it's been going for a while that Codex has been asked by the regional Pacific Island countries for kava to get on the Codex list so that it can be traded openly in the world market. I think last September, finally, the Codex Commission gave the initial approval for kava to be on the list. And I was at the meeting this morning. They're having another meeting in April. And there's just 1 or 2 more steps left for it to be formally approved so that kava can be traded openly between Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, and the 14 countries in the Pacific. So it is possible that by the end of this year that will be opened up and then open trading will happen. And then therefore the demand for kava will rise and increase. And you know, it is going to challenge the supplies, I guess. So it's something, that's what we are investing into that future. So when you combine what's happening at the Codex plus the natural growth and development of the American market, these two are expanding the scope of the Yangona market. So the message is then plant some more, but also plant Yangona in a much more smarter way. We need to move away from a customary way of planting Yangona and think about how we're going to do it more commercially in our own plantations. One big difference between Fiji and Vanuatu is way ahead in terms of the the market share, they supply most of the kava into the US kava bar market because they've been able to differentiate each variety and market it as such. It's called provenance. In Fiji, kenda sanda te watatunga ngona dhavu watanga oka watundonga mai sa mengangi, it's all mixed. So we need to start thinking about getting the manual from farmer, which is Pacific Horticultural Market, and planting them in variety according to the, planting in beds according to each variety. Because the market in the US usually asks, can you just send me yalu, or can you send me dakombanavula? But we in Fiji can't do that because the farmers just plant all of, harvest all together and come in one big. So in that case, in that sense, we are kind of losing the battle. So for those of us who want to plant kava and thinking about planting it in a more commercial way, I think you try and get a copy of the manual and identify the kava variety that you want to focus on and stick with it, and become very good at it. There's like Fiji Kava Takima, I think they got 4 varieties which they focus on and only buy. And these are 4 varieties that have already been proven scientifically that it works very well as a medicine for mental illness. So they're focusing on that. So whereas myself, I'm focusing more on the drinking market, and we're working with our farmers to start planting each variety in a different blocks, but that's going to take time. So if there's a message for those interested in planting kava today, to go back, start thinking about that. Also to use less chemical as possible. I mean, easier said than done. Being a kava farmer myself, it's not easy to keep weeding the weeds and every month, and so you need to think about how you're going to cultivate it. Maybe put it in straight rows so you can use a brush cutter. So you just got to start thinking differently. How you're going to do it. Also, we can plant kava, we can look after it. The biggest headache is when you go in love with the thing. It's the biggest work involved there. So again, you need to start thinking how you're going to do it. And don't be scared to be innovative. Try and come up with new ideas so that you're different. So that's one part of it. And the other part of it is the kava lactones. Most of us here know what a kava lactone is? Yes or no? Oh, man. Yeah, okay. The kava lactone is when you drink yangona and you get dope, that's the lactones working. Yeah. So altogether in a kava plant, there's 18 lactones. And of the 18, the 6 are the most important. That 6 make up about 95% of the total lactones. So again, it's how the variety, how you husband it, how you manage it will determine the kava lactones, the amount of lactones that the kava plant will produce. The kava plant is really a factory for lactones. So you need to treat it like that and keep it properly. So there's 6. I can tell you what they are, but it's too scientific name. But you can search it on Google and it'll tell you everything you need to know. But of the 6, the 4th lactone is kavain, K-A-V-A-I-N, kavain. That is supposed to be the best lactone. Most kava in Fiji got the number 4 lactone as the highest. So that's why we drink it. We have a nice, good, relaxing dope, if I can use that word. And then it's usually followed by number 2, which is dihydrokavain. Please don't think, I'm not a chemist or a scientist. This is just all self-taught and from drinking a lot. And the number 2, dihydrokavain, is really the thing that relaxes your muscle. So you got number 4, which relaxes your mind and gives you a good heady relaxation. And number 2 is gives your muscle a very deep relaxation. And this is all scientifically proven. And then you got either 6, which also helps your mental clarity and also helps with sleep. So usually the Fiji cover is got number 4 is the highest, number 2 second highest, and usually 6 or one of the other numbers are the third. So it has a chemotype of 4, 2, 6, which means that the number 4 is the highest, number 2 is the second highest, and third. It's in ranking in order. Eh?
So, John, what you were saying that you know the species of cover. You know, like you said that there are 4 species. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, 4 cover types. Eh?
Yeah.
All right. You know, for the people who are probably listening in, well,
Yeah.
you know, you're right on the presentation right now.
Right.
So they're on the right track, probably. Eh?
Yeah.
You know, the right cover track. You know, the cover type, you know, with the right leg tones, you know, to give all the soothness that you are currently saying right
Yeah.
now. Eh?
Well, that's right. So again, when you think about that, different covers have different chemotypes. Some varieties have higher 4. Some have higher number 2. So that's why I say, for instance, some company like Fiji Cover, they've got the varieties that they focus on have the chemotype, the sequence, that went together. It's been scientifically proven that the capsule they take helps the mentally ill patients because it helps them to relax their head and slow them down, and it just brings their... So the number 2 Angona that's got the highest is number 2 is the one is usually, well, we are looking at producing a product that is specifically targeted to sports players, rugby players really, because it helps relax the muscle after the game. And in that way we can recover faster. The sportsmen can recover faster. And I think some rugby teams, some super teams are also quietly encouraging their players to drink cover after the game, rather than go and drink beer and get into trouble. So once you understand how you make lactones, then you can start to think about specific products you can make or specific blends for particular section, because this is the world market. Now you must be wondering why I put Karela up there. So we also make Karela, and we have a cover where we mix Karela with Angona, because Karela is good for diabetes. Eh? So the diabetics, when they're drinking Angona, they're also getting treated. So we need to start thinking differently. Eh? Don't think in our own cultural way.
Products, eh?
Yeah. It's not only about sitting in the veranda in the evening drinking till 10 o'clock. We want to do it as a business. You want to make it as a business. So you got to start thinking about how you can mix things to make, because there's a market out there, the world market. And I know of some Pacific Island players that are playing gridiron football that are also using Angona, so it's also starting to take effect there. Yeah, so when you combine all of this, the growth in the cover market in the US, the codex growth, and also innovation, the market will continue to grow and get bigger. So the key is the farmers and those that are going to, because quality comes from the farm. We can't make good quality cover in the factory. It has to come from the farm. And if you've got, and it also, I need to say that cover lactone is important because it's only a matter of time now that we will start buying Angona based on your cover lactone content.
Yeah.
Not on the weight. It's happened, it's about to happen, and it's going to happen. So therefore, it'll, if you're planting Angona, you have to start thinking about what should I do to increase the level of lactone. Yeah, so that's the business, but for me, how do I do all this Angona business while I'm drinking? How do I make it reap a lot of money for me to give my family financial security? So that's what I'm saying, and it's what I talked about in the Kontiki, is that we're in the process of uh, attracting new investors in, to then invest in cover bars in America. And then we will list this company on the stock exchange. So all my shares, I can then sell it and go and plant yangona in my village and also fish and drink. So, yeah, it's hard. I mean, I try to put a lot of information into a condensed things, which can be quite challenging. But so I use the Kontiki example of how to set up a business, grow it, and then list it to then make your shares be valuable. But then I try to bring it down to yangona, which we all understand, and how you package it up. But just because I'm doing it, you can do your own. If you have a different idea, you can do it. I think it's a market that that is going to grow, and Australia is going to be opening their markets at the end of this year. That's going to be a huge boost to the demand. They were supposed to have opened the market in December last year, but because of COVID, they've deferred it for another year. And that's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
The demand for yangona. Having said that, Vanuatu is also big cover producer. Solomon Islands is an emerging cover producer. They also produce some really high quality cover and volumes. So it's not easy. It's a competitive world out there.
And John, just a question, because I'm looking at the at the kind of words that you're using to actually market your product, and I see that they're probably using pidgin kind of English,
Yeah.
based on where you've had actually established your market. So that would probably be Papua New Guinea or Vanuatu, who is actually using Tok Pisin language, I think it is.
Yeah, well, COP stands for corporation. Corporation. It's corporation, the English word, but written in Tok Pisin, which is regional. It's from PNG, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu. That's what it is. The cover talks there, that's a mixture between Fiji and Papua New Guinea cover. Papua New Guinea cover has very high levels of the number 2. Very, very high. And look, we export some to the US. And our biggest customers for that PNG cover are the women in US. Yeah. It's a very, I don't know whether I should say it or not, but let me say this, that they find that because it's very high in the number 2, it helps with their women issues. And in saying that, because we ship, we get testimony from a lot of our customers. We get one of the biggest beneficiaries of the yangona market in the US are the recovering drug addicts. Yeah. They always swear that, man, thank God for cover, man, it saved my life. I've been able to move away from all these drugs, and cover has helped me to stabilize my mind, and now I can get back to normal life. So that is a huge thing. Number 2 are the recovering alcoholics. They swear by, they're always very thankful because they can go into a cover bar, which is exactly like a normal bar, but they don't serve alcohol. So they get the feeling, the atmosphere of a bar, all of that, but there's no alcohol. Also, as I said earlier, a lot of women going through menopause and all of those issues, it helps them. That's what they tell me. I'm not a doctor or a scientist. But there's a lot of intimate conversations between us and our customers that take place. So I think when you put that all together, there's a good future in the yangona industry. And it's something for us to think about and take away with us. So I think it's also very important that you must also try to educate and educate yourself on the aspects of cover. What is it? And take away the, the perceptions or the biases that we might hold. Oh, this is no good. Look at it as a business. And then, so how it can then help you become a better business and give you a cash flow to help build your business. And I'll give you an example of a cluster that we're working with in Nebudini in Etasiri. They're a group of farmers. And we've been working now for over a year. We've been talking, saying, can you guys do this better? Can you do it this way better? You know, now we're getting to a point where we're asking them plant them in the different variety, with different blocks. But each time they come in to sell, there's a lot of money that goes back, a lot of cash. And usually it's all frittered away. They go shopping and drink it all up. So that's another thing that we're working with them, that I use my experience in the financial and investment to tell, look, try and use the money for, if I can speak in Fijian, it may be understandable. Nama vainta na ngo na me kau nomu kau. Kuni vainta me nomu kla mombula tikin na visinga. Mo vak na nomu kau me nambula vavonu aki nando nambula vinaka. So in other words, you start investing and building a portfolio investment so that in 10 years' time, it's grown to a critical mass that the dividends flows in, and you know it starts to, it can sustain your family and your life for the rest of your lives. And in the Fijian language, it says, "Saya sangero ni ravi na mateva."
Yeah.
Kuni engai dai lembaki ono sa ulu se veve de ngana ndakunta na dambe da kendalanam.
John, don't go kutaro, eh? Sanga na nomu dikia bandoro pono mondole daka bandin dikikina me baka tangor baka manita sire sang bater tungo era turang kela mara marla sar me baka me tungo so me na mosi. We have people from Overlau here as well and from Ngau. Another people who is known for for the best cover. You know, obviously you may have got some contacts from Ngau Island there, or from all those other places. How do you actually arrive, to actually do that kind of project? Like you've actually selected Nabudini, yeah? But is it just a random choice, or you have tasted cover from that particular area as different to the cover from another area? Yeah, just tell us how you actually select that area, or what are some of your impending plans for the rest of the people that are sitting here today in regards to that kind of project being conducted in their respective areas.
Thank you, Sami. First and foremost, when we started, we had an idea about, I think we all have. When I was growing up, we only know that the best is going to come from Kandavu. And then Overlau. And everywhere else, they say, oh, I'm going to. But that's not true. Now with science, and as we are measuring and testing, we find that the Ngonas from Nitasiri are much more superior than the Ngona from Kandavu, for that matter. And Ngona from Namosi is okay. The Ngau cover has a very good chemotype and has a good impact. Our market our buyer in New York, they only want Ngau cover.
Clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. There you have it.
Because we actually market it to them, and but there's also a warning on the pack. Please be careful. There's Ngau cover.
What about Moala cover, John?
Yeah, Moala cover is good. It's quite strong. But we have because we can only buy according to what our market wants, and then also more importantly, where we buy from, we go and test it. We test the Angona, we test the covers, we check the farms, making sure that they don't overspray it, all these other things. And we sent it for test. We also have a tester. The tester we have is a small one. This one is bigger than the tester. So we get it into a pot and we just do scans and goes through the app on the iPad. It'll immediately, within 15 seconds, it'll tell you the results. So that's how we do it. Yeah. So for us, it's a commercial decision because we, if we were to go to Moala or the freight costs, for us, 1 hour drive and we are into Netasiri. 1.5 hours drive, we're in Namosi. 45 minutes, we're in Televu. And the best is going to come from Televu, man.
But you don't know what you're missing, eh?
They don't know what they're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we test it, and again, it's just just commercial business sense, eh? I guess there are other buyers. Fiji cover in Overlau, I think they buy a lot there. and other buyers, they're Takima, yeah, which is Fiji kava. Eh? See, I've been talking a lot, so maybe you can ask questions and then I can answer.
Because I see all the people that are looking at you, they're really, into asking questions. Because I can see there are some farmers, they're sitting in the middle there, and there are some there towards the right-hand side there. Okay, don't worry, we will give you time to answer the questions. Eh?
Yeah, no worries.
To ask questions to John, who is here. Eh? He's a very difficult person to find
Really?
here in Fiji. Yeah.
Because I'm usually at a kava
Gosto sa
bar.
mga tiki ko bilang sarang kon si Bernilako.
Yeah. So, yeah, any questions, feel free. I mean, it doesn't have to be on cover. I mean, I've also got an exploration company, and it's important to understand that. Yeah.
Karela.
Yeah, cassava. Well, yeah, we have the machines that make
Cassava flour.
kava powder. Eh? We call it kava powder, but if you think about it, it's kava roots that come in, we wash it, we mill it, we grind it to a very fine. The one we send to the US is fine kava. So it's really kava flour, but we call it kava powder.
So John, to be able to distinguish between kava powder, the one that you put into the grog cloth, and that one there, the one that actually just dilutes in water, similar to coffee.
Yeah.
Would be that?
That's instant kava, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So there you have it. They have the machine for kava that you just put into the water and it dissolves.
Yeah, you don't need the sulu.
See?
Taking avocana
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. And we all know that, we kava drinkers, when it get to about 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
And then a loss.
So it's easy, just taki. And it's also hygienically better.
Yes, yeah.
So we have the machine to do that. If you bring your kava and you want it to make it instant, we can make it for you. You can take it home and drink it. But in another way, other companies, they make dehydrated kava and call it instant. So you can also make your instant kava by just doing dehydrated kava.
Yeah.
So you lost it and gonna, then you let it settle. And that's why we have to taki the ngona, because the kava lactones settle on the tano and the basin.
Right.
So if you let it settle, then you slowly take the water out, you will get to the lactones. Right? That's the lactones. Then you can just put it in the oven, or in the oven so that don't go over 60 degrees, and let it dry. Then that's your instant kava. So next time you ladies surprise your husbands by doing it. Yeah. Whereas
Okay, we have a lady here who would like to ask a question. Yo.
yeah, thank you. That's a question I get asked all the time.
Very good question, yeah.
Well, we don't. Ideally, we'd like to buy from clusters. So if you're in a village or in an area, you can organize yourself in clusters where you can have, 10 people that got 500 or 1,000 each. It becomes 10,000. That's easy for us to work with.
Yeah.
But that's not to say we can't work with. If you got 1,000 plants, we can work with it. But one is, again, the selection of the variety. That's the majority in your plantation. The health of the plant, the age. Now there's the age and the general quality. And if we test it and it's good, then we will then sit down and negotiate a price. Then it's about, can you, like for instance, the Nevadini and others, we tell them, can you give us 100 kg every 6 weeks? So for you, it's not so much the price, it's the flow. And that's the key. A lot of our farmers, they think, price will always go up and down. It's a commodity.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah.
Those basic things sometimes we
Yeah,
tend to
true.
forget.
Yep.
And when we reach the maturing time, we are hearing that, oh, I shouldn't have used that. I
That's
shouldn't
right.
have done that.
Yeah.
No, that's right. So that's when you come in, then that's where we have that conversation. And you said, then we come and check it, said, okay, maybe you should change it this way, do this. And it's an ongoing relationship, it's an ongoing journey. But
Because John, like, for the benefit of the farmers that are sitting here, we've also found that that a lot of farmers lack the market access.
yeah,
Yes, a two-way already they can't sell it because there's like no, like the lady has mentioned, it's in the market for the maximum benefit to come back to them. Isn't that right? Eh?
oh, well, that's true.
Iyo.
Yeah.
Dia pasal nga pero kono rin bukan din taka. Dia ngon na ito pun wesi baka mindi bina na kila market. Kila ke baka merani do market me baka di taki. La ko vuli na ka kila banko virtu na leti ngo do 10 farmers ngo na 10 cluster me kya 10 cluster me kya. Asa na gari bukan di taki ni sa do na kila do market eti ko eh. It's a sure job eh. For your
Yeah.
product.
But, in saying that, the market is not sure either. We are all driven by the market, huh?
At least 50% prevalent.
Yeah, but for us, like for instance, us, we have constant shipments that we got to make, and sometimes when we need it the most, the farmer is not there to bring it. So this is an ongoing thing that we always have to, because not because it's the farmer's fault, it's the weather. There must be a rain, or cyclone, or the river is the road is flooded. But there's also a big part of it with the Sangha farmer. He probably had too much grog the last night and he didn't feel like the Buddha. So those are realities. Io senga o viva madalta virtu numra me chugo son electons me va mulum te girton puranga.
Just another question. Sir,
Mr. John, a question.
Yeah.
You can see that your marketing strategy with using of display, colorful. So one of the most important skills that a business owner has to employ is sales skills.
Yep.
Yeah, sales,
Yeah.
which is different from marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can have stock there and your products. Okay, can you give an advice? What do brief your employees with that skill? Sales skills.
Or the selling skills.
Selling skills.
Yeah, good question, man. I'm the worst salesman, I tell you. But I think for us, it comes back to, like, we recognize, I'll be the first one to tell you, that if it comes to sourcing, finding it, sourcing it, producing it, and packaging it, nobody can beat me. But my weakness is I'm not a good seller. So I try to work with somebody who's very good at that. Where my limitations start, I work with others. So I mean, and in that case, we'll find that most of our products are not in the local market. And in addition, most of it is just 98% is exported.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the wordings, like talk in words that you're using, eh?
The branding, yeah.
Like if you were to replace, like, a Fijian word, for instance, for marketing capability to get you. Would that actually influence the sale of your product overseas?
Overseas, or you mean the local market?
Well, in the local market.
Local market is different. Eh? I mean, this kind of branding won't work in the local market. If we just put it in a brown paper bag, it'll sell faster. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And we try to sell it in shops, but as we all know, as covered drinkers, like the impulse to buy Angona is not made at the supermarket. It's at home when the visitor comes. Hey, what label when the thing finishes, they're going to buy another 5. So it's usually around the suburbs. So that's where the market is.
So that means your advice to aspiring business entrepreneurs that they should have some specialists in sales.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, if you can, so you'd have to, that's why I keep saying, like, to scale up.
Right.
Scale up, right.
You need to employ salespeople.
Salespeople.
Yeah, you need to all of that. But, most of us won't be able to afford all that.
Right.
So, but if we produce a good product and we got the farm, then we can find investors to put the money in to employ people.
Thank
so
you
you can
for.
then scale it up. Sorry.
John, I'm really interested in actually how you can actually set up clusters, for the people that are looking at us, from the villages. How can that happen, when like 10 farmers from one village and 10 farmers from one village and 10 farmers from one village? How can that happen?
Yeah, I think it's because the nature of Yangona farming is such that we need a lot of, it's quite labor intensive, So we need a group to work it. So, today we'll work on your farm, and tomorrow we'll work on her farm, and then the next day all the group. So that's why the cluster seems to be the better model to use. So you don't have to pay for extra labor. It's just a group thing. But that's, again, dependent on, though they form themselves with the help of the agricultural officer in the district or in the province, and then they form and then make connections to us, or to other buyers. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Sandy, for a very informative presentation. Some of us don't take cover. What are some of your business challenges in terms of meeting social obligations? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's. Operating in Fiji is itself a challenge, because we've got the weather and the ongai. I've put aside a set of our production mainly for my kin coming from the village. Oh yeah, that's okay. So that's just the way it is. But I think again, it just comes down to how we manage. But the main thing is to push the sales so that we generate the sales and the income that can then pay for social things. Not so much from others, but also from the clusters itself. The village might have a soli, and they ask us if we can go and give a thing, or a rugby team or a netball team might want a uniform. So it's kind of never ending, but that's just the way it is. And sometimes we just have to say no. But for those that the relationship with the clusters that have really kind of matured, we try to work with them, and where we can, we give it. But at the same time, the relationship has matured where they also recognize that we have to work together, and sometimes they have to protect me for their own benefit. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think what he's asking is what kind of strategies you adopt for the evaluation and valuing the supply chain. Yeah, at the end, it all comes down to the price that pay. So the supply chain is, or the price, sort of carries all the information and about, because the farmers will come with their price. That's what they want. Then we'll say, hey, yeah, we can't afford that now because we got oversupply. So, I don't know if I'm answering your question now. Yeah.
Looking at quality. What sort of,
Yeah. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Quality is so important. It starts from the farm, like I said. And then also, most importantly, when we harvest the Angona, uproot it, because it's such a laborious task, we just roll it down to the nearest creek and wash it there. But we forget that upstream, the cattle and the wild pigs are, polluting the creek. So E. coli and all those things, the pathogens are there that goes into the Angona. So this is a big thing. So that's why we buy dry, and then it come back to the factory, then we reprocess it. Because it has to satisfy the microbe count, Otherwise, some customer in America gets sick, and it causes this bad for the Angona industry. So but that one is, there's very little you can do because the Angona is planted out in the.
Maybe you can outlet part of your unit or section, you can offer capacity building, technically.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing now for the clusters. Like we help them, or we invest in their process at the farm, but they've got to be well organized. So now we're talking like the one from Nevudini. Now they've come to me next week with because it is mature. They're asking if they can now become investors in Kava Corp too. So we can issue them shares, and then they can be part of the journey to go onto the stock exchange and list it. And so whilst they have the Angona as one part of their wealth, they also own shares as another. So from one plant or one crop, they got two assets. One is the Angona and one is the shares. And if the company works well, then they get dividends. Then if it's listed, they can sell that shares or use it as collateral to then buy a four-wheel drive or build another business or buy a house or whatever. So we just got to think a bit differently around that. Yeah, so it's...
Thank you.
That's why I was trying to talk about the corporate side in the starting, so, to give you the idea that if you really want to make it big, you've got to start thinking like that. I know it sounds a bit boring, and it's boring to me too. I'd rather talk about Angona too. Yeah.
Okay, we have 3 questions. There's 3 questions there.
Thank you, Mr. Sandy. First of all, thank you for your presentation. It's been really enlightening for us farmers trying to make it in the cover business. We would like to know your company, when it buys from your suppliers, is it based off how mature the plant is, or is it based off cover lectons, like Fiji cow?
Well, yeah, thank you. At the moment, we buy based on weight, dry weight. Now that's an interesting question because it also raises another point. Customary knowledge says you leave the cover, the longer you leave it, the stronger it gets. But science says differently. Science says no. Science says that the cover lectone profile, it peaks after 18 months.
18 months.
You don't have to keep it for 7 years because you're going to be exposed to cyclones, to theft, to disease. So we need to start thinking differently.
So about 1.5 years. So this is really
Yeah. So you got to start thinking differently. This is business. But also, if you look after it well, and your husbandry is good, what you can achieve in 18 months in an 18-month plant is what would be a 3-year-old. You can make that. Sama tata juga? Saya malum juga na yo. So, if you look after it well with the right organic fertilizer, you can get the weight. I was speaking to a farmer last week from Netasiri. He uses a particular fertilizer. I can't say it because I might be promoting it. But he says, I harvest my Angona in 14 months. And from one tree, I get 8 kg of water. How good is that? So we need to start thinking differently, thinking of it as a business. Does it answer your question? I'm sorry.
Just another question. On the thing about clusters, how do you deal with quality control? Because there'll be different farmers, if I'm correct.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think that's part of the relationship. We tell them our expectations, and they work with the agriculture officer of the district, and we try. It's not a one solution that fits all. It's always an ongoing thing. They come, we talk. As we see, they say, "Retango, tango make memori kumita kaban, kita kabango." And just on that 18 months thing on the cover lectone, the cover lectone peaks at 18 months. So Fiji Cover only buys cover plants, the Takimai or Fiji Cover Limited. They don't buy any cover that's more than 2 years old. It's because of that. So if you think about it, 1 acre can take about 2,000 plants or 1,500. But that's on the traditional spacing of 1 meter by 1 meter. Because we know that after 5 years, the branches will all fall, so give it space. But if you focus on 18 months, you can plant 3 times the crop in there.
All right, thank you very much. I see that there's a lot of interest that's been generated.
Oh, I can
Okay,
stay
one
here
more
all night. It's
question.
okay. It's okay, I can stay as long as you want, man.
Yes, sir. Mbulabinaka,
Yes,
Mr. Sandy. I grew up in Kandavu, and then when I heard that you get the cover from Naita Siri in Mosi, I, for one, vouch that Kandavu cover is the best.
I agree.
And because my father was a teacher and a farmer, and I grew up knowing what cover is from the grassroots level up until today. So what we want to know, we're talking about, you know, when we have the product and how to sell it, how to market it. But what the farmers need is the 4 varieties that you mentioned. What are those varieties? What is the best variety to grow that can last for 1.5 years, 18 months? And how do we go about it to meet the market demands? You know, that's my question.
Hey, but you're a cover farmer. You grew up in there. You should be telling us. Don't hide it. No, but that's a good question because, no, I think, look, Kandavu cover is a very good cover. Okay, I'll take it from to my Naita, I'll take it. Yeah. But yeah, I think the thing is, much like that farmer from Naita Siri that I just spoke about, you know, there's a cover quality manual. I don't know if you've ever, any of you have ever seen it or got one? It's published by a farmer, PHAMA, Pacific Horticultural something, blah, blah, blah. It's there, in that manual, it lists the 13 cover varieties that we have in Fiji. And it explains all the cover varieties in detail. So you then have to then make up your own mind as to which one you want to plant, based on your local geology, you know, your location. So that's something that you have to work out to then make your cover quite distinctive and become quite valuable. But all the information you need is in, try and get a copy of that manual. They've got their offices in Nasese. Nasova, actually. Actually, you can download it from their website, PHAMA, www.Farmer Plus. It's there. They also have the, there's a brochure or a book on cover value chain. And it explains all of that. But that just gives you the basics upon which you start to build your own, you know, stamp your own mark on it. Because we can all plant Ngona, we can all drink Ngona. But it is, you know, why it is that the Brooklyn cover bar only buys Ngau cover. Yeah, I know, why is it that, I know, but also having said that, we also make craft cover.
Draft cover.
Craft.
Craft
It's like craft beer. Yeah, we then make, we get covers from 3 distinct areas with a different, have their distinct characters. We then put them together in a blend, and it gives the best of the 3. So, you know, for the women and all of you, you've got to start thinking like that.
So if they were like women drinkers, you probably would like to, you know, devise a special cover just for the women, eh?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's the emerging market. I think that's where the cover industry will really start to fly, you know, if the women come in. Because it's also, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but from the testimony I hear from the female drinkers out of the US, and it's also here, that they speak to you, it helps with their women issues. You know, I tell you one American lady that came to Fiji. She rang me and said, "Hey John, can you come and meet me?" And so I went down to Nandi. We were talking, and he said, "You know, John, I got to tell you something." What? I thought she was going to say, "I'm giving, don't, you know, I'm going through menopause. I've taken all the medicines I've done in America."
Listen to this, listen to this.
You know, and when I drink their cover, she said, man, it helps stabilize me. I don't take medicines anymore. And I'm telling my friends, buy this cover. So I share this with you, not because I'm trying to be smart, but it's just these are the testimonies I get. I'm not a doctor. I don't profess to be a scientist. And the same thing with the drug addict. So a lot of the things about Yangona have been conditioned into our thinking. Oh, yeah, but let's look at the good things that it produces. It's not about the Yangona, it's the abuse, really. It's about people drinking too much. I mean, I drink a lot, but by 9 o'clock, I have my chow and I'm asleep. But I can drink a lot. I can drink all day. So, yeah. Have I answered your questions? There's one up there.
That will be the last question.
Oi, sanga ngori ko nito tatali ngori ni ko ngasibio. Nak. Oi, nak. Nak. Right. Don. Oi.
Ini turun sampai di bay, no kanku?
Oi, nak.
Oh.
Rombula.
So later series, so around about that same area that you are.
Nakini, yo.
Oh, Nakini?
Nakini.
Oi, ano naman dyan Nakini na po na ni Kai? Sayang, eh?
Maybe? Yeah. Hey. May chintel na
Okay,
ni
so
Kai
sabay
na
dapat ka. John, I think we will just come to the end of this program, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, because we have other speakers that are actually,
can
will
I
take up
just-
this other time. All right, John is going to be around here for maybe for another 30 minutes, or what, you're rushing off to the bank or something? Right, for those of you who are interested to actually want to have a word with John, John is going to be around here, probably outside, right? You can get a word with him. I know I'm looking at a Savina. She's a big grog farmer from Namosi. All right? Yeah, and we'd like to just show our appreciation and just give John a round of applause, please. Nakawali with John already. Tungan mata sa flambo tungan may bikim.
Yeah, well, anyway, you're not level for putting up with me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Please don't go. All right, Betty, are you?
I really support my Tao's idea to establish a school. Maybe you can also call it as an institute. You know, those people who, have you heard about Tutu? Interviewing? Yeah? I mean, it is a success, but not to that level. But if we establish our own institute in our own districts, okay, where your very people look at their own land and they till the land, okay, I think that will work. Okay, and I thank you for that. Where's my town? Gone. Totolotan na apa mo? Yes, I've been hearing about the previous presenter in regards to cluster. This is one form of cluster, cooperative. And my question is, what binds or maybe resembles the group together so that it's sustainable? Okay? I was asking that question to Sandy, John Sandy, because I want my suppliers, those cluster groups, okay, to help me sustain the business. Okay? If the suppliers don't link up well, okay, just run for 1 or 2 years, then my business will be down the drain. Yes? Right. So what keeps them together? I use this word, the CNET. Where did we get the CNET from? What is it made of? From the? Yeah, okay. What ties them together is the cooperative spirit, and what governs them is the cooperative act, bylaws, okay, and the values and the 7 principles. I'll come to that later. Okay? Once you think cooperative, okay, in cooperative thinking, think of good relationship, okay? And to be supportive in your relationship, okay? Once you have that bond, okay, and then the other elements will fall into place, okay? Strengthen your relationship vertically. Vertically means to your board members or the management level, okay? Those who are guiding you, those who are leading you. And horizontally, amongst board members, amongst themselves, and also to the suppliers, to the buyers, okay? Externally, okay? Still think cooperatively, the benefits of collective action or joining the cooperative. 1, you'll receive bonus and dividends. Those are 2 different things, okay? Bonus is when you use the service. We have a special formula for that. And for dividends on your share, okay, it's a 20% cut from your profit, okay? Percentage-wise, and all the division of the profits is already standard, okay, in a cooperative business. We also have the voice of a people heard, buying at their doorstep. It also kills monopoly. Monopoly. Those who are? Yeah. They are called first mover. Okay? First mover means they penetrate the market and they become the leader of supplying that product or whatever service. Okay? That means for small businesses, they can penetrate that market. Okay? Because we have big giants, bigger players there. Okay? Can you sell flour? Who is already a leader in the market? FMF. Okay? Can you produce electricity? Who is already there? EFL. On EFL, boss is sitting down there. Your bargaining power, let's say for example, in a cluster group, in a cluster business, you'll be able to tell a buyer from Lautoka, come over to Lambasa, or come over to Sausavu, you have 2 tons of grog here. So you'll be able to tell the buyer to come over, not you going to the buyer. So you'll try and change the equation. Yeah? So that's one of the benefits of joining a cooperative. They have power. They have a bargaining power. Okay? They'll be able to make deals. Why? Because they are also a business entity, registered, lawfully allowed to operate in Fiji. This is a picture of a shopkeeper, cooperative shop, when I visited Vatulele, maybe last year. Okay? So I took a shot of that shop. Okay? And you, hands up those who've been to Vatulele. Okay? It's quite a distance from Korolebu or Singatoka. And it's also quite risky, it's very risky to travel in between those, okay, the distance. This is how they manage themselves. Okay, they have a shop, and their source of income is masi. Okay, I went to check their Dinau records, known Dinau. Why? Because they already have a source of income. And it's on a daily basis. They do that daily. You know what's so common in Vatulele? You hear the beat of ting, 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 lali. Okay, so that's a shop. Now they want to diversify to masi, to buy all the masi in all the villages in Vatulele. So now what they have done, this cooperative, what have they done? Or what will they do? They are bringing the market to the island at their doorstep. Okay? So they don't have to travel individually to Singatoka. Okay? One of the hallmark or features or characteristics of joining a cooperative is you manage your own business. Yeah, we are officers. We advise, we consult, we monitor, we evaluate, but it's you who will do the business. It's you who will manage, it's you who will own the business, it's you who will control the business, it's you who will benefit from the business. Democratically run, okay, one person, one vote. I have a say, I have the right to decide, right to vote. Autonomous, tu bataki koya. Okay? Se nimbale sandungo, se sonundoya. Okay? It's independent. Meaning, if it has a deal with or contract with any other organization, okay, you will work independently and basing their decision on their members, okay, rights, Embale, que ba sa dona contract mo sa deal wat ke dona song bang sen dona company ko na tuda tuga bon dono ka nandau warongo da, na nonra kere na leoni song. E na tunga wandondo no sengi malele, e na nona, wisi watimbeka ko kambani e mai idaka deal tiko. Okay, we'll give you 1 million. Can you change this law? But a cooperative will be steady enough to serve the people's right. And okay, let's move on. Members' contribution in cash or kind. For those who are planning to start a cooperative, it can be in cash or kind. Okay, let's say kind. Okay, we'll start a piggery farm. Okay, give a piglet each. We'll put that in the pig pen. That's in kind. Not giving cash. But I know in the villages we don't have that cash to give, but we have the material. Yes? We can da we touch on the so the button we boli. Ndaran tayo tagan on the bisinisi termandangan na bisinisi ni buaka. Ndaraw nga ni sulianga ni donul bendi buaka melagi susu. Kono buaka ya na tumutiko. Okay? Ni tumutiko pat keni labo keni saw. You see? Right. That's how it goes. It's a service driven, okay, which is totally different from the philosophy of any other business. Okay? We talk profit. In a cooperative, you look after your members. And you become your employees and your workers as well. You pay them well, they look after your business. Who said that? One of the famous businessmen. Richard Branson, owner of Virgin Blue. If you look after your employees well, they look after your business. Uniqueness of joining a cooperative. We have a college, cooperative college. Can you tell me, does a company has an institution, a training college? No. Okay, I'm not trying to market cooperative here. But I'm telling you, once you get registered with a company, that's it. They'll win you. Okay, lako, go. And who will come after you? The devil. The devil comes after you, and your know-how, the knowledge, you lack the knowledge. Okay? So with cooperative, we have a cooperative college who will look after you. Once you get registered, you have your first training. These are the trainings that we offer. Board of Directors training, that's 2 days. Business and management training, that's for 3 days. Basic and bookkeeping training, stage 1 and stage 2, that takes 6 days, which is similar to basic accounting. And I tell you what, I'm not trying to boast here. My clan in the village, we have started that's 5 years back, a cooperative. And I tell you, we look down on people, those who are the villages, that they can't operate any business. At this very time, they know how to do bookkeeping. They do it themselves. So it took me 2 years to teach them. They're able to manage and present a clear, transparent document. Audited report, 3 years in a row, they've submitted. So that's it.
Ben doon ko taro Sanga ni ko hulu tati ko rakani cooperative movement. And to be okay, so okay, maybe I go back to the village. I probably have about 10 plus or maybe
10 plus.
20 members to establish this cooperative. Because before we used to have a lot of cooperative networks. I think was all cooperative movement.
Right,
Eh? Okay. What are the cooperative movement? Kala do solution ke na boni si na ka ke ya. Ya. O sa resort ko ni sa dora kana ke kam comida no mo kala na pina suko di mata ka tiko mai.
Kamida.
Ya. Okay mabingo, okay mami bangkarat ko kima mi mendona startup capital. Mena ready book kima mi establish some businesses so it be cooperative or whatever the type of businesses that that you were saying. Okay. Is there a way that we could access any funding if we were to become members of this cooperative movement again?
Maybe that's the second thing, eh? But first you have to build that good relationship and the cooperative spirit. Asking for funding, that's the second thing. But we have funding unit called the Integrated Human Development Program with us. No, the lady that came to
Or
talk.
the integrated kono kani Bulimanrai na
Right.
kakelewa na bi kor
Yeah,
kor
we
kor
funded.
bit, yeah.
Have, where is it, Lovia? We funded 35,000.
Lovia cooperative.
Yeah. Cooperative in Mususawu. Okay? Why? Why we've given them grant? Why? They presented audited report consistently. They presented to us. One to Firka, one to us, one to the divisional officers.
Yung na kilkaro lang ganitaro, but na cooperative lebukin ng members, eh? You know, some people find it really difficult to operate with so many members, isn't it? Eh? Lebu ng duyalealo, lebu ng unang doliali kinalailabo, sinibaka hindi binaka na constitution ni cooperative movement ya, eh? Kaya kung darating sige, lebu tama dari binakatanga me, baka me family owned business, so binakatanga me levanga with same like-mindedness, you know?
Similarities.
Yeah. Klar?
Yeah?
The way to do things is all the same, eh?
Right.
All right. Na tapos na kailan karon dito kung siguro cooperative ngori, meron rin rumuri na rin siguro mingo, pero tayo libo sarang nga sinibi na katalaga may libo na tamat eh.
Let's start off with 10.
Iya.
Okay? We have similar dreams, similar thinking, type of thinking. Okay? Right. Especially families, eh? Okay. Once you have those 10, and you kickstart the business, and it's up and running, and you know, in a community, people be watching, eh? Hey, I want to join. But in a cooperative, you know, you have you applied to any jobs? In a similar way, you'll apply to join that cooperative. That's a normal process. Then the board members will screen your application. Oh, he's a declared bankrupt guy. So we have criteria in place, okay, to safeguard the business and the members and the existing members. Okay? Any other question? No? We have a national body that we have in Fiji. This is called the National Cooperative Federation, that which is an umbrella of the national body. Okay, once you get registered, you are known in Fiji. And we have the international body, International Cooperative Alliance, ICA. Once you get registered, the name also will be recognized internationally. You are part of a training program. We have a training program for cooperatives who travel to Israel, travel to Malaysia, and travel to Japan, okay? on South-South Cooperation Program, they call. Would you like to join that? Yes?
Yes, yes.
So think co-op and get ready to start co-op. You have the 7 principles, okay, where the Cooperative Act 1996 is based from, okay? Cooperative Act 1996 is this thick, okay? It's also called a Bible, okay? I'll say that in all the awareness that I go to. You have the Vanua here, Matangali, you have the business here. And I asked Lulunia Busa, where's your Bible? And they said, we don't have any Bible. Okay, we have a business Bible here in front of me, okay? Which means they have separate principles and they have separate values as well, okay? So you can mix them, you can merge them, okay? That's the point I want to share with us today. Any Vanua or whatever, Iluni Matangali, okay? And that's what I made clear with my clan, okay? You stand here, Iluni Matangali, in any cooperative meeting, you'll sit down there because you are not a board member. So hats, remove your hats, okay? If you have 2 hats, remove both. And you enter any cooperative meeting. Okay? That's how we look at and we differentiate and we demarcate what is Vanua and what is business. Registered cooperative will be trained and also exempted from income and expenditure tax for 8 years. Okay? You go open the FIRCA Act and you'll see that there. It is exempted for 8 years. Only income and expenditure tax.
The VAT?
VAT, you are not exempted. If you are buying, it's like consumer shop. If you are buying, you're buying goods. That's where you are charged VAT. And you can also claim VAT from FIRCA.
Okay, Don Gutaro.
Yeah.
Wada porque bukai ko operate kan don company, club katakan motor taxis.
All right.
Cars, like it's a cooperative thing, yeah. Are they exempted for all these wheel tax and all these other things? I don't think. I don't know.
No. Only income and expenditure tax. Right. It's clearly spelled out in their act. Can seek financial assistance. We have MDF, Market Development Facility. Now we are linked. We have Pharma Plus, as explained by Sunday. We have IHRDP. We have the National Export Strategy. Okay? So you are open to all those assistance if you join cooperative. You are monitored, and I think that's an element that is very important. When the other party monitors you, yes? Or you want to be your own monitor?
Own monitor.
Own monitor? Yeah. That's something good about joining a cooperative. Every year, annually, you audit your account from a professional auditor, and you submit annually. That's something good. Yeah? FIRCA is demanding financial account from you because of what? Because of tax. Do they advise you? No. Do they train you? No. So why not join cooperative?
The Bula romantic credit store. Yeah, and the cooperatives.
That's another good point. It's because of mismanagement, lack of understanding the principles and values, and also no, they were not trained that much. Yeah, they lack the bookkeeping knowledge. They did not have any business advisor. I know those personnel that can dissect business and be able to spot. These were the area that is lacking, that is giving a lot of problem in the business. The human resource, but they are not doing their work well. You have a whole range of cooperative in Fiji, consumer shop, financial services, land purchase. This land purchase business, Semi. Was it, you said cooperative in Wanilebu? I forgot about it. Yeah, there's one cooperative now I can remember because I was in the West. Nambuta cooperative in Tabua, land purchase. You know what housing authority does? They do the same thing. They develop the land. They buy a big amount of land, maybe 2,000 acres, and they develop it. Developing meaning they bring in the electricity, they do the drainage, the road access, everything, and they subdivide it. Once they subdivide the land, and they give one free lot to each members. Free. And the rest of the land, they sell it out. That's where they gain. Just trying to share to you what is land purchase. And the other one that's on the rise now, harvester business. Have you seen machines in Canfield, Lambasa and the West? Yeah, it's on the rise. Maybe now we have registered about 50 cooperatives that have this business, harvester, which in a way does help speed up work for cane farmers, but at the other end, it does not provide employment for our poor people. Yes? Right. Okay, let me run through this. So this is what the right mix. This is your answer, Semi? Yeah, right mix. Gender balance, similar ideas, commitment and skills. You have a variety of skills. Bring them in, okay? I'll give you the slides. Bring your USB. Okay, defining the business idea based on common need, based on skills, based on market and demand. If there's a market and a demand, proceed with the business. Now this is just a slide just to help us identify root causes and effects of problems. What's the immediate effect? Just to analyze problems. Priority problems, you have immediate problems. Secondary, you can just look at this example. Now the analysis of low quality cassava. Okay? From this low quality cassava, from the different levels, first level is immediate effects. Okay, what were the immediate effects? Low price, deduction in price. Okay, you can also apply these to the various crops that you plant for farmers. Okay, and even for any other business. Okay? Cannot sell to processors. Why? Because of low quality. Okay? And then to priority problems, you identified the priority problems, sorry. Low quality, fast deterioration of quality cassava. So it gets bad instantly. Immediate causes for this low quality, fast deterioration of cassava. What causes that? Limited knowledge on proper handling. What other bit that causes that? Exposed to rain and pests. The other cause? Cassava not washed and cleaned well. And then two secondary causes, limited training, no storage facility, lack of equipment and cleaning area, water source too far. And the root causes, identification of root causes, we have limited number of staff. The other thing, government budget is limited as well. The other bit, cannot afford investment individually. So they have analyzed what is bringing a low quality of cassava. So to address that, to address the root cause, they build a post-harvest facility. This is a solution. Post-harvest facility for cassava farmers. The other thing they came up with as a solution is to erect water system for facility and homes. Now, the members, they have benefited from this project. Okay? It's not only the business. Maybe they had poor water source. But what did the cooperative do? Supplied them with a proper water system. And they've also added value for cassava, to cassava. Okay, they have ventured into cassava chips. Now you can tell, now if you have those problems analyzed, you can boldly tell the government or the funders, we have this analyzed, can you give this funding please? Does that answer your question? Okay, I think I'll stop there. You can read. That's how we registered the steps, have founders meeting, have bylaws ready, have feasibility report ready, business plan, $109, and you can call me, 951-3544. Navalim.
951-3544, no number. And number in business. Right, thank you very much. A round of applause to Binyami. All right. Okay, we should just break for about 2 minutes. Okay, you can just stretch and stand up. All right, we'll put up the presentation for Mr. Enrico Munoz, who is the Chief Executive Officer for South Pacific Business Development. That is a big funding company for women entrepreneurs. Eh? All right. So here he is standing right here. Remember, only 2 minutes, please. Mr. Munoz is all fired up now to give you his presentation for South Pacific Business Development. It's a big funding agency for women entrepreneurs. All right? And ako pinakabikim din naman ramo ni Rating Umingo. Kira-kira nila ngayon mo katolo ni Bukatal may kiasala lisar ko lang ngaunay. Iya. O siya misal po lang nestibikiti misal soli ni bikim ni medasabi ng yan eh. Kira-kira. So 2 minutes left, please, eh? Kasi kaya nagmedong na tayo nga naturang, eh? You got 1 minute left. 1 minute. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, my friend. I'm just organizing one workshop right now. I haven't actually checked with the bank today. Can I come back to you tomorrow, please? Maybe in the morning about 9 o'clock? Yeah. Please, can you just come in, eh? We're about to start now, right? For those of you who are outside, please just come in, eh? We've got our guest speaker here waiting, eh? Hello? Yeah. No, I have to check with those gang that I've been busy all throughout this week, man. Tomorrow I'll come down there at 9 o'clock. Yeah? Please come in. Please, those of you who are standing at the back there, it doesn't look good when I'm looking from here and you're standing up, eh? Can we just sit down, please? Naka, we're just about done, eh? This is going to be our last presentation, eh? For the day before we give other certificates, eh? All right, I will now hand out the mic to Mr. Elrico Munoz. I will just ask you all to please give him a round of applause, please.
Hello. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rico, just call me Rico. I'm the General Manager and Director of South Pacific Business Development Microfinance in Fiji, or SPBD. SPBD is present in 5 countries in the South Pacific, from Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu. So in Fiji, we have been here for the last 10 years. So that's why this is the year that we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. So for this afternoon's discussion, I will. These are the agenda. 5 main topics. Like I discussed with you, what's the reason of our existence, and where are we? Our vehicle for outreach, our enterprise development program, both for the budding entrepreneurs, meaning to say these are the startups, and that's for the blooming entrepreneurs. These are the ones who are on the verge of growing to a bigger size business. So our mission. So our mission is more of poverty alleviation. So improve the quality of life by providing meaningful opportunity for underprivileged families to lift them out permanently out of poverty. So our strategy, as you can see, is focused on empowering women, meaning to say that, for example, in Fiji, 100% of our clients or members are women. We help them start, grow, and maintain micro businesses through provision of financial access. So we provide them financial services, also business development services, as well as other opportunities that they can build their assets so that they are more financially secure, and at the same time they can actually also improve their homes and of course send their children to school. So our vision is we should have a network of financially sufficient and scalable micro-enterprise development organizations throughout the South Pacific. As I've said, we are already in 5 countries. So where are we now in Fiji? In Fiji, we are in 400 villages, mostly rural. So we are in Vitilevu, Panualevu, we are in Tavioni, we are in Rambi, we are in Ovalau, and even the smaller islands of Serua, even Vio. So most recently, we have also expanded our operations in Motoriki, which is just adjacent to Ovalau. So have 6 branches to serve our clientele or our members. So we have offices in Suva, Singatoka, Lautoka, Raki-Raki, in Vitilevu, and in Vanuatu we have offices in Lambasa and Sabu-Sabu. As of last year, we have 6,000 borrowers. 100% are women, and they're engaged in trading, agriculture, fishing, handicrafts, service-related, and other businesses. So while we have 600 borrowers, we have actually 9,000 members. Some of them are just saving members, because we provide also saving services for our members. Aging from 17, as young as 17, to as very young as 70. The oldest actually is not even 70. We have a member from Raki-Raki branch. She is already 82, but still 82, but still selling Yangona in the Raki-Raki market. So it's a good inspiration for those who say that I have nothing to do, and you have this 82-year-old woman still doing business. So how do we do that? So our vehicle for outreach is we organize women in the villages. It could be villages, it could be also settlements. So usually it's a group of at least 15 women, and then they are grouped into 3 groups of 5 to 7 members. And we call this group of members, a group of women, as a center. And then they have, they elect their own officers. They have a center chief who leads them, center secretary who keeps the records and also collects the money that they have. And we also have an in-house resource person. We call them financial education facilitator. So all of these officers are members of the same community. And then later on, they can expand up to as big as 35 members. So right now, we have 436 centers. So these are 436 centers all over Fiji. So, and our rules for membership are very simple. So in fact, it's even half of the 10 commandments. We have only 5 commitments here. So we shall one. The first one is they have to own and maintain a revenue-generating business. Second, they have to attend weekly center meetings. Yes, we meet every week. So whether there's a cyclone or not, rain or shine, we still have to meet. And I have to tell you that like there was one center in Moana, in Rewa. So while they were meeting, actually in that house, which is the house of the center chief's house got burned. And they still continue meeting. And then the funny thing, this little boy, he wanted to, go inside to get some stuff, to salvage some stuff. And the first thing that he got is the SPBD banner and the SPBD book. So that's how they love SPBD there. So, and then number 3, they have to pay, of course, their loan on time. Number 4, they have to honor center and group guarantee, meaning to say that because all of our loans, by the way, we don't require collaterals. We don't require security. We don't say that, oh, do you have a pay slip? No, we don't have that one because almost 100% of our members are unemployed. I mean, because it's instead of being employed, you own a business, then you are self-employed. So, and then of course they have to commit also to invest in their family through savings, home improvement, and financial education. And by the way, these 5 commitments is recited by each member every week. So before they start a meeting, they have to say, okay, what are your 5 commitments? So it becomes now part of our, it's not actually brainwashing, it's just about saying that these are the things that always remember so that it becomes now your habit. It's part of your way of life. So what is now the enterprise development continuum? So we start with a micro loan. Start with 1,000. That's the lowest that we give, actually. 1,000 Fijian dollars, but we say, start small, but think big. See, think big, start small, with a $1,000 loan. And then we help you formalize. We don't want you to be informal forever, because if you are informal, basically you are also illegal. You know, you're illegally operating a business. So we help you. We provide you all the things that you need. In fact, you don't have to even go to the offices of registered companies, FIRCA or something like that. We give you that. We just give you the forms. Fill up the forms. Wait in your village, and then we do the errands for you. And then there, you have a registered business, you have your TIN number, and then you have your tax compliance certificate. So that's what we do. Before August, we even help our members to have business licenses. But I think as of August, after August 2020, it was taken out. But of course, you have to have clearances with the fire. We have clearances with health and other licenses that you need for specific business activities. And then after that, we provide you, we upskill you, because most of the ladies that we start have basically zero business experience. But we say, it's all right. We'll provide you with that one. So we do a training, an intensive training of 6 sessions, so that you can really be more confident now to run our business. So we provide marketing, financial and production managerial upskills for your little business. And then, if you go beyond your comfort zone, we say that I really want to grow, then we can actually move on to SME loan. So micro, and then if you want, you can graduate to SME loan. We don't push you to the banks. We can keep you here, and then you grow into with an SME loan, so that you can actually accelerate your business later on. So as I've said, we start with a small, think big. We have the budding entrepreneurs. That's our core program, actually. So these are the basic services that we provide. So we provide training. We call it awakening. Maybe if you've been used to just, take care of children, cook the house, wait for the husband, and you think that's the life of a woman. We say, no, you are sleeping. You have to awaken that you have a lot of things to do. God has given you talents, and you are wasting it by just doing that one. So awaken, so becomes aware that she has time and talent to improve herself and her family. Okay, you're not dependent. Now you can actually be a contributor, not only to your family house, to the household, but even to your community. And then we organize you, as I said, center formations. So like-minded women will be organized. We don't actually recruit. It's the women themselves. We usually, this is what we do. We go to the village, we seek the audience of the elders, we do a sevu-sevu, and then we ask if you want us here to open a program, then next week we come back, and then you gather the people, not only the men, women, children, dogs, cats, they can gather there, and then we present our program. And then we say, those who want to be joining the program, then they will sign up. Of course, this time it's the women. And if the other people who want, other women who have not attended, they can come and join the next training. So the training 2, which is equipping, is now financial education. So we teach them how to save, how to record, how to do recording, and even how to make a business plan, simple business plan, so that they become more confident. Okay, this is how we will be doing it, how we'll manage your finances, both the business and the household finances. And then finally, we provide the service, the finance services. So we don't just give you money immediately. We equip you first so that you will make use of the money properly. You will not misuse it. You will not like get the money and then go to buy shopping here, and then of course you will have a big problem now how to pay the money, because that's not how it's supposed to be. So empowering, we provide you with saving services, microloan, and of course if you're a member, we provide you also a death benefit. So if a member dies, the bereaved family gets 6,000. If it's an accident, even 12,000. So that's almost like insurance, but it's only exclusive for the SPBD members. So, and we make use of the M-Paisa. So we'll teach you also how to use the mobile phone so that you can receive money and pay money as well. In fact, 100% of our loan disbursement are through mobile banking, mobile money, and even with savings withdrawals also through mobile money. You will be amazed that a lady from the interiors of Namosi could do that better than maybe some of the university students at USP. So that's empowering. And then across the 52 weeks in a year, 50 weeks of that we do our center meetings. Our staff visit every village, and they meet regularly. Why only 50 out of the 2? Because in 2 weeks, during the Christmas break, we also have a 2-week break. And also, even the members, they also have their own breakout party and everything. But we told them, don't touch your savings and then just a party. So, core financing. So this is the financing. Maybe this is the one that you're very much interested.
Very much, very much.
Okay, so first loan cycle, as I said, 1,000. It's strictly for business. So we help you do the business plan. Don't worry, we don't just give you a blank paper and then you do it. No, we sit down with you and then interview you, help you in even doing your business plan, so that we know what you are what's in your mind. And then after that, if all of our loans have a term of 52 weeks. Well, 50 weeks. So it's 1 year, and it's payable weekly. And then if you finish your first loan cycle, then you can actually move up. This time it's plus 500. So it moves to like 150% of your previous one, and you move on until you reach 7,000. So it's like step by step. It's like going up the steps, Start here, and then as your business grow, then you can actually get also bigger loans. But this time also in subsequent loans, we make it very flexible, such that a portion of that it can be used not only for business, but also for improving your house, like changing your roof, and even also for children's education, like buying the uniforms and books and everything. So it can be multi-purpose now. Because we know that ladies try to maximize the funds that they have. So, and so on and so forth. So from 2,000 up to 7,000. And aside from that, we also provide supplemental loans. So in addition to that, if you're under second loan, we can also provide you white goods loan. Like if you want to buy a TV, fridge,
TV.
You don't need to do hire purchase anymore, because in the first place, if you're unemployed, you'll never get a hire purchase. Why? Because what's the first thing that they will ask? Payslip. No. You just say, are you a member of SPBD? Or they finished 1 year? Okay, now you can have also your white goods loans. So it's also a term of 1 year, weekly payment, so very, very affordable. And some also want to borrow for their children, universities education. This is the higher education, tuition fee or other things, but it's more expensive, so we also can provide. And in addition to that, there are some things that we provide. Very lately, TCYASA. You know, when the TCYASA was struck, a good number of our members in Lambasa, Sabu-Sabu, particularly Lambasa, lost their houses and even their means of livelihood. So we provide also the rehabilitation loan. So we were able to provide loans to more than 200 of our members, amounting to 1.2 million Fijian dollars for rehabilitation for those affected by TCYASA. So we have all those things. And then after that, if you say that you want to graduate to SME, this is the bigger loan from 7,000 to 20,000, then you can do that after the 3,000 loan. So usually it's after the third cycle. Then we are ready to say that you have a history already of being a good borrower, being a businesswoman, then you can actually move on. So again, think big, start small, and failure is a lesson learned. So even if your business failed, take note. What is one thing unique with SBBD? If your business failed, but you paid your loan, we can still provide you another loan for another business. Go to the bank and the bank said, your business failed. Oh, no way, man. You cannot do that anymore. But in our case, you try and try until you make it. Because as I said, failure is just a lesson learned. Okay. Next. Remember, these are financing. Then we have the blooming entrepreneurs. These are the ones who are growing big. Okay? So we have the Fiji Bloom program. So it's like a flower. You know, some you just continue to be buds, but sometimes they want to grow as big flowers. So the Fiji Bloom program has 4 components. So we have the business formalization. This time we really teach them on the other legal requirements. For example, if you are hiring 1 or 2 people, you have to register to yourself as an FNPF employer. So all those stuff. So we'll teach you on those things and even help you in making yourself a registered FNPF employer so that you will really be in the formal economy already. And then, of course, we provide you with SME preparation. We just don't say that, okay, now 3,000, you jump to 7,000. No, we have to have a bridge. We call it a SME preparation. So this is an intensive program for ladies to walk through so that they will say, okay, yes, I'm ready to take a bigger loan. So it is business diagnostics, we have entrepreneurial capacity assessment, cash flow analysis, and a 3-year business planning. So all of this we provide. So we don't ask, okay, can you do this? We say, no, we teach you how to do this so that you can really have that one. Okay? And then the SME loan, which is from 8,000 to 20,000 with a 1-year term, and then of course it's still a weekly payment. Then we provide you also with business development services. You need some marketing support, food health and safety, tax compliance, like filing your annual tax returns. We provided that one at very cheap price. Right now, the average that we provide for annual tax return, we only charge you $25. Which is others will charge you 200, 300, and all the stuff. Okay? And then, of course, resource linkage. We link you to other resources. And then, of course, the 4th one is this one, an intensive. You can also enroll in our business acceleration program. It's an intensive 6-month program wherein we have formal training, workshops, and then one-on-one coaching, and then towards the end, we have investors, you present your plan in front of the investors, and if the investors like you, they will fund you like a grant to really grow your business. We have that one too. Yeah, that's all. So I know I have some questions. I'm very welcome.
Okay, maybe Elrico will just ask the crowd, can the women put up their hands if they're a member of SPD? Is that right? Eh? We'll just ask. We'll just ask the women who are looking at us right now, how many are members of SPD? Can you just put your names up, please? No hands. Or one there.
Oh, two, no.
Two. 3, 4. Oh.
They're just shy.
They're very shy. Now we know them. Okay, right. There's one lady here, there's another one there. All right, so we have a couple of women here who, I think more than 20 women, eh? All right. Okay, what happens to some of the women here? I mean, they're from one community, would like, to be members of SPD, seeing that your programs are really good and would really benefit the women, in as far as the children are concerned, the education and so forth. Eh? How would they go about in establishing? What is get a fill in a form, or go to your website and just call you up, or get a representative to come to the village and speak and
You just invite us with a letter. And usually, it's better if it's also supported by your Turanang Nikoro. Yeah, because we always respect the traditional leadership as well. We don't want to just barge in there and then feel that we are already welcome. No. And there's in fact, there's certain villages, they will say, no, please don't do any program here because these ladies will not pay you. So it's all right.
Yeah. That's already jumping to conclusion, but I know, but just looking at these ladies over here, you can see that they can pay, eh? Yeah. So, because we have some ladies from Overlau here, right? Okay, can you just update us on the program in Overlau? Like all the villages are members of SPPD, or only a few?
Not yet. We are, I can't remember the names, but we have in Lovoni, we have in Nambukibuke, we have in Rukuruku. I can't remember anymore. Of course, there's one also in Levuka.
Botucalo?
Botucalo, yes, Botucalo, but I think it's Botucalo.
Bureta?
Bureta, not yet. So, and then we have 3 in Motoriki as well. So, but we're still expanding, and our staff there goes to Obalao, go around the island every Monday.
Okay. Okay, any questions?
Yes, a question, but I cannot hear.
Or urban women, Elrico.
Urban women, yeah. Yeah, the urban women, for so long as you live in the same community. But we are very careful with the urban women because they come from different villages, and then sometimes they're there, and then sometimes after a month or so they disappear. They are now in the next. No, we have a big difficulty on that one. But now, a very good example that we have and a very dynamic group is the supermarket vendors. Yeah, so we have a supermarket vendors. They meet in the market. Yeah, we have also in Valilevu. In Valilevu, we have 2 groups. We have the Valilevu Sisters in Action, and we have the Matana Kilangi Santa, one of the oldest. They have been with us for more than 10 years and still growing. So we have also. Namandi, we also have. Tamabua, 2.
Watuanga?
Watuanga, oh, it was closed before because they did not pay. Watuanga, Ngaji, oh my goodness.
Watuanga gang. Yeah, we have some Watuanga women sitting there.
So maybe this is what you regain the, no, we are not, we're different women from, Watuanga is a big area,
Nanuku settlement.
Yeah. They will say, oh, they're different. Okay, we are different. Okay, prove yourself that you are different, form your center, and let's see. Yeah. 3, 15. You have to multiply yourself by 5 to make it 15. You know why? You know why we 15? Because remember, we visit you. You sit there. You don't actually do bus fare. Yeah. We are the ones going there to you. You know? And if it's only meeting you 3 women there, then it's not cost effective, you know. Yeah. We also are a business. We are not an NGO, by the way. Right. We are a business,
so
you know.
15.
15.
Okay, Ulrico, what about in Tailevu? I see some Tailevu women looking at me.
We have. Which
Kormo, Dausamo?
Dausamo, yes, I think we have in Dausamo. You know, the in the ferry, what's this?
Latovi.
Latovi, yeah, we have groups there. And by the way, take note also. You know, because these groups have been there we have actually groups there, but maybe they did not approach you or something like that because they have learned their lesson also. So because remember our group and center guarantee, so if one of the women will not pay, they are bound to pay the loan. So now after maybe several years of good and bad experience, they are also, no, we cannot just, recruit people because it might be another cost to carry. So, but if you prove yourself that, I'm okay, then they will send you to training. And the training is free. So for six sessions, you start meeting. So usually you just have to, of course, you have to prove yourself that you're a good member for the next 6 weeks, and then after that, okay, loan.
Yeah. We got a group in Namosi, Enrico.
Namosi, yeah. Wainimakutu. Yeah, all the way there. I've been there too. Namosikoro, yeah. What else?
What about Namomo village? Namomo?
Oh, not yet. But the Namomo village can actually also open their, again, 15. And only women, huh? Don't include your husbands.
Not men, only women. Okay, Enrico, why are you selecting only the women and not the men? Because I'm seeing that the men are also very honest, when they're doing business, eh?
No, it's like this. We're not actually discriminating men. We're just saying that in a household, it's actually the woman who actually is the better gateway for these resources because they use the money. When they use the money, they use it effectively, okay? And they are the ones actually, how to budget it in such a way that, that one. Yeah, I am a man, so I know that one. So like, I have that one. Okay, maybe I'll buy a car. I'll go out with friends or something like that. Yeah. Okay, we just have more grog. But it's the woman actually who was it, and it's also good lesson also. And in fact, I would tell you that it's for example, we had Miriam. Miriam, for example. Actually, he's growing bigger, not in size, in the business. So she started with a food takeaway. And now she's also she bought a taxi for her husband. Coming from SPBD loan, and the husband has now a taxi with Tekukede. Yeah, see? And then sometimes the husband does not want to drive. And you know who drives? The daughter. So now it becomes a family business. So because all these things should be taken as family unit, and then the woman is just one of the resources. Yeah?
Okay, Enrico, now the people are looking at you. They would like to hear some success stories, women who have actually gone on bigger things and created diversification. One business leads to another, or probably 2 businesses or 3 businesses. Could you just let us know maybe 1 or 2 women that who have been through your program and have been successful?
Maybe some of the women can also testify. But anyway, so one is, of course, one of the ladies that I'm always, can easily remember is the lady from Sabu Sabu. So, what's this? So she actually got married she comes from Nandi, and then got married to a man from Sabu Sabu. And so she has to move to Sabu-Sabu, and she did not know anyone there. And she got so depressed, doing nothing and everything. And then she got heard of SPBD, and she started with just selling grog, packets of grog, you know. And then later on, it got so successful that now she she started actually doing already the what's this, the bundles, and now she is now even financing farmers. So that they have a ready supply, and is now actually bringing the grog from Sabu-Sabu, from Vanolevu to Nandi and Lautoka. So the last loan that she had was even 25,000. And then when we visited her place, it was already like full of furnishings. And she was saying that before we did not have all these things. Now we have also all of that. So that's one.
Yeah, because we have Mr. John Sende. He was a big cover exporter, a big cover entrepreneur, a big cover drinker as well. Eh? Yeah. So that is one success story from a woman in Sabu-Sabu who, you know, through SPBD.
Another one is from Siniudi Diomba, you know, that village near Pacific Harbor. So this family was very poor because they said they did not have electricity and they have to borrow electricity from their neighbor. So they said, how did you borrow the electricity from your neighbor? You cannot borrow it. No, they said they just have a long, you know, that extension cord. Okay, plug it in, so you know, and then a power board, so they have the light and everything. That was their life. And then her husband was a fisherman. So the fisherman, something like that. And then one day he was said, can I just sell your fish instead of us eating? I set aside some of the fish and then sell it around around the village. And then later on, she got to know about SPBD. So she said, okay, maybe I can increase this one. So got a loan from SPBD 1,000 and started actually not only getting fish from her husband, from the other also fishermen. And then later on, she was able to put up the power, not borrowing anymore, electricity. Then after that, she put in the fridge. And now she has 5 deep freezer. And then she has also a car. And then now supplying fish to Suva.
And that's a lady who has a few trucks too, eh?
Yeah,
like,
and
3 trucks.
And then her children is now in the school. One is a medical student, and another one is doing the electrical engineering. So all of this were saying that, hey, it never happened if I did not wake up, you know, the awakening that I can do any something for, for the family. So those things.
So there you have it, some really good success stories through SPBD, yeah? All right. Maybe we'll just take one last question. Any last question?
There's a question there from
Bula Vinaka, everyone. My name is Dipshika and I run Gadgetron Electronics. I've been working on the website for the past few months. I represent economics and management, but due to COVID and every other thing, it has been a flop. So what I do is that I parallel import iPhones, iPads, and Samsung Note products. So I've been working out of where I'm gonna get the loan to source my business. Because one, this is a very lucrative business, and I believe that when we give in money to national cooperatives, we are not injecting money within our own economy. For example, looking at me, when I have a sale of phone, and if I have additional 1,000 surplus, they'll be re-injected under commercial agriculture. So that's my mindset. So for SPBD, what is your set interest rate that you're seeing that a borrower is going to be returning per week? Because that's, for an economist, there's a big question on the interest rate delivery that we're doing per week, and also are you flexible on looking for a month? Because there's this concept of how I retail phones, is that sometimes our consumers in Fiji, they all want, my lowest iPhone product is at $450, and that's iPhone 5. So if I'm giving in high, that's with warranty as well. So if I'm giving in a high product, again, people in Fiji want to have a feel of the product before they make a purchase. We don't believe in shipment coming in, and I work with a website that's digital transaction. So first we take in the full amount deposit, and then we give you the product, because that's what I can do, because I have no collateral, no money coming in. So as for a starter, what's the interest rate that SPBD is projected to see per week or per month if they're flexible? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So our, it's like this, our interest rate, you will say that's very high, but we don't charge any fees. Our interest rate is 25%. And then it's divided into the 52-week period. So for example, if you are borrowing 1,000, you are paying every week $25. $24.50 actually. So that's the one. And then another thing, in terms of flexibility, the way that we do is flexibility is actually through the savings program. And yeah. Okay, it's like this. You can actually jump, just like any steps, some would do it one step at a time, some would be doing 2 steps, jump 2 steps at a time. So what we do is when you're halfway of your loan, and then you say, no, I need to jump to the next one, then we will allow you to go to the next loan. And then at the same time, if you have built up your savings, you can actually also top up your loan against your savings. So for example, you have built up your savings already, because we'll help you and build up your savings. It's your own anyway. Let's say we started with 1,000, and then midway you said, now I can pay down the 1,000, so I can move to 1,500. But at the same time, I have savings of, let's say, 700. So 1,500 plus 700 is 2,200. You can jump to 2,200. For example, the one that I was talking to you about, the lady doing the kava, she reached the 25,000 loan on her 4th year. Yeah, so that's how flexible we are. You can do that, but of course you have to prove that that you can demonstrate that your business is growing. We do cash flow projections for all the loans. Whether you start from nothing, you have to prove that, yeah, this is that every week I can have this one, because it's like this. We believe also in, we don't do, the debt should not be a burden. So part of our evaluation, the debt burden ratio should not be more than 40% of the income that you derive from the business. Meaning to say that 60% of that is something that you can reinvest in your business or even get money for your household. So only 40% should be for paying the debts. That's how we do it. So we help you calculate. We're saying, you don't have to have a big one, because now it becomes a burden for you and you will have a hard time paying for it. You become a slave to your debt. We don't want you to be like that.
All right, we will just allow for one last question,
Vinakasa Bula. I'm Mere. I'm from Netasiri, and I have maternal links to Lovoni, Ovalau. And one question. For us women who are starting small and thinking big, what are the requirements, or how do you go about applying for a 1,000 loan?
Just attend our training. It's actually free of charge, but we charge you $2. The $2 is actually for your, it's a plastic pouch where you put your, it's like a class record and your pens and everything, so that you will be able, when you finish, when you graduate the six session, then you will be entitled to a loan, because by the time you have already your business plan, you have your what's this, financial diary, and you also have your application form. Yeah. So if where are you residing now? Which village? Yeah, we're in I.T.S. Huh? I.T.S. is a province. Oh, it's not a village. I am in Fiji for 10 years, so you know.
Very well. Yeah.
Huh?
Rewai.
I think we have a group there nearby. So you just join them. You just be friendly with listening. Okay.
All right, that concludes our program today. We will just ask Elrico to post a question. Elrico, if we just want to test their, their memory, the people who are looking at us right now, We'll just post it up here on the app because we have one prize there. I am so sorry we could not give a prize to people who don't have phones, as we have only one prize, all right? So we're just going to post it up on the app for the benefit of people who are currently on the app right now. So we'll ask Elrica for that question, and then you can post the answer, and then we will choose the winner.
By the way, we have a hotline. Yeah. You can actually message or call 5550. But it's only for Voda and Inc. DG, well, oh, no, it's not. 5550.
I thought you were going to give us some prizes. Okay, there you go, Rico. I mean, based on your presentation. Okay. Okay, the questions are out. Okay, the questions are already out on your phone right now, Okay. The questions are already out on the phone right now. We will ask Mr. Elrico Munoz to actually identify the winner. Okay. Okay, Elrico, those are the answers there. Okay, we got 8 comments there. That's the first one there. Time. Is that the right one? Okay, we have a winner.
The winner is Andy Marida Sinitoto Naonga.
Adi Marida?
Must be a SPBD member.
Are you there?
Andy Marida, you come. Come down.
A round of applause, please, for Andy Marida, who's answered that question correctly. There's a prize.
The whole bag.
It's heavy. It's very heavy. You have to hire a truck.
Right, look this way, look this way. Right. Round of applause, please. Right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are so fortunate to also give out the prize for the leaderboard. The leaderboard is the person who actually does the most postings on the app. All right? Sorry I didn't announce that to you on Monday, but you know, I was just trying to test your knowledge on how well you were prepared for this entrepreneurial fair that's been held at the university. Yeah? We've actually selected a winner, all right, to actually give out the prize today before you line up to get your certificates, right? All right, so we will invite our group manager for the university, Mr. Glenn Pope, the group manager for Campus Life. You know that USP Entrepreneurial Fair comes under Campus Life, and we're fortunate to have our group manager here, Glenn Pope. Please, when he walks in, I want you to, just to give him a round of applause, please. He's also here to stay. Here in Fiji, he's also a Fiji Islander. Is that right, Glenn?
Yeah, I'm a Wadi Tokai. So you got it? Hey, before I just announce the winner of the leaderboard was about not just how many times you posted up or what pictures you put up or what you said. It's also about other people liking your comments and that sort of thing as well. So it was a combination. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who turned up this week. It's been a long week. I'm sure this is the 4th year I've organised this with Sammy and Vanessa. Good to see the turnout. Good to see the mums and dads. And I hope that this week that you take something away, that you enjoyed something out of the week, you got something out of it, besides the kana on Monday. Okay? So the winner is, what's her name?
Anna Maria Vungona.
Is she here at the moment? Anna, come on down.
Anna,
what's the prize? It's a lot of stuff.
Please come down. You're the winner of this
guys,
prize.
I think that Anna gets a tablet, some stuff from Nestle, and some stuff from Fiji Water. Is that correct? That's correct. Yeah. Thank you.
A round of applause, please. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Glenn Pope. All right. I'm sure that all of you have been throughout this week, and I would like to thank you all for coming in today. I know the business aspect of our workshop today has been, all throughout this week has been really good. We were faced with maybe a few problems. Probably this place is too cold for people who have come all the way from the village down here to the university. Yeah? This kind of workshop is going to happen again in February next year, February to March, right? If you know that you haven't learned enough, you're free to come. Maybe we will put that out in the Fiji TV and in local dailies, right? As we strive to create entrepreneurial awareness for everyone who calls himself a Fijian citizen. Just to close off for the sessions, The certificates are currently being printed at the moment, all right? So we don't, oh, it's printed, right? So could you just make your way down, probably that lot? Okay, Vanessa, all yours, all yours.
No, no, it's okay. We'll have some of you come down this way and go out. But when you come, just bring an ID, if you have an ID with you, so we can...
If you have an ID, just to make sure your names correlate with the names that we put on the certificates, eh?
There's something go up there as well.
Okay, and through that outlet as well, eh?
So down here and up there.
Down there, I mean, up there and down there.
You can go there and I'll go up there.
All right, excellent. And Mr. John Sende is still here, and Mr. Elrico Munoz. For all the ladies who would like to come and shake hands with this wonderful gentleman, he is right here. Right? And Mr. Benyame. Got a- Please tingkaron na naman nito ya makakulisoy ng ulit na bitumay eh. Iya, kwa lambong lori kento na bag bitumay. Please, your personal things, eh? Make sure you take them, eh? Just go slowly. Kako na bili lang ka sa talenda po ira sin malala.
Training in group? Yeah. 9513544. Hey! Set! 9513544. Once again? Sorry? 9513544. Next cell, This one, maybe you can remove this. What do you want, my friend? The template, the PowerPoint. Mine? Big. Good. All the PowerPoint? Or just the... These are some templates of business plans, yeah? And this PowerPoint? Yes.
As for the training, yeah. Is there any requirement or where do you guys hold that training? Cooperative training.
Yeah. Do you join the cooperative? Are you a member of cooperative? No. Means you can gather 15 people. Okay. And maybe you can $40 fee. You can come.
It's where? The venue? Location?
We'll decide. So you're planning to start a cooperative or just individual business?
Individual.
It's just the skills, eh?
You won't come to the bank. We'll bring it to you. Everything is there. None of the business license
You want to do it? Oh, the way to check it. Emang anti Indra Alim. Awak kasih mesti tunggu tu inam. Orang nampak. Oh, nama aku juga siap.
Isa doon ako kere-kere, be kim nila lain itu kainin gori, meron po lain na muni, and orto kira chumorto ya, so any form of ID, may para rota ka na po lai. If you don't have an ID, tukuna nga pang matatapirto na ito mo may po lai, eh? Okay. Siya nga po lang doon itikini pepa, meron ni pang matatag, sulebirto, eh? Kaya ako na po ni kaya, binakatiko na kina ID, meron rin nga ito po lang na ito mo. You can get a second ID, that's also okay, right? Just write your names clearly on a piece of paper and give to them to write your name, eh?
We have your names and your contact numbers.
Yeah, in fact, that's what we do. If you can go to just a meeting,
But you can give your certificate because platinum. Kamu? Eu bem dois bonito lo kamu. Enrico.
Kerja? Tam lagi tu boleh.
Daram dendo. Daram dendo.
Ayo kirim isi kok tinggal mana mandi? Betul ke itu kemana Wednesday?
Ayo okay.
Mandi atau milik? Ini yang itu biar cepat. Kalau boleh kiri, kalau tinggal mana mau ni atau milik?
Masa besin na mesin ko?
Safaris.
Okay, automatic.
Perché mi lavorare tu mengor che mi sono marama o ni na betor ngat kuna turang dur tunggo ni rene ningol semua ni meter kue e che bani bina kata meni member bina song ko mata tak tu mengo kona SPBD yeah. Ora itu ni dor kan lebih marama sentuni member. It's a very good organization
Ako aja ni.
Gue nama tu dokter nggak mau nih tahu? Gue nama dokter nggak mau nih sih. Kenapa balik? Misalnya kalau mau bilang cuma mengali, kalau mau bilang cuma mengali. Kenapa balik tahu? Kenapa balik negara itu?
Yo tata.
Hah? Ya?
Apa lagi? Senta kami na yo tata.
Oh, sejauh. Adi 지금 들어온 비즈니스? Adi 지금 들어온 비즈니스?
Iya, domo baru kita vendol itu take out ini sur nama darmada ini.
Okay.
Nah, kita chip shop ni on dolong.
On kor, bukan jual.
Nah, asal itu lu Buku tutupan asal itu.
Oh, tata? Oh?
Iya. Nama dia.
Begini. Kalau nggak tak. Kalau nggak tahu ada main dulu. Iya.
Orang sama mo kati magawa. Ha? Bin madalas. Hindi na. Anto na coffee? Tahu na coffee lang situ ba? Arto salah ko. Salam dalay ni ngaray. Go.
Ito. Hoy. Kanni ko mataw. Hoy, nano tanan ni sa badur man kanni ko nano muni. Ayo yo. Sige boy, sige daw. Ang sibul chibe. Ayo sa kelas tu lagi. So demo tu sa kelas. Cibo be itu kona lot ko ala ko cuma berton tambah itu gi. Tu main beras ko dan lang gas. Beras ko ngoni tu ini. Hai. Kalau mereka tu komplino kita ngeli lande na second semester kona postgrad ko sa pagabi. Tatsi binasa. Kata na rabu nilam bisnis. Iya. So kata cuma ko me ini mereka ni bola nata research ba dulu bita mata apa? Got it. Apa? Jadi benar dong. Malu. Itu kena kangen nipu. Kangen nipu. Ya. Kangen nipu.
Nambah apa?
951 3544 3544 Ben ya? Ben ini Ben Ryan acik mo? Acik, kan ni ko doangan selain mo sa acik dikit oh ibu kan
Oke, gimana?
Pukul saja.
Oke, itu ini ya.
Don. Sip, nama tu. Kita ketemu ke ini.
Kira from Monday to Friday, all the slides.
All right.
Set.
Hello.
Perché non la minimo. E così torna Ito mustaqbal ko lang cuma itu min ko cuma ni. Nanu mo papuin ko ana Excel iko kasi tak tuna changes ko bakal. Ikar din kita.
tadi narotuan.
Iya, biar ke tengah na.
Kembali ke office ini. Kembali ke office juga ini.
Ila mindro ni bat. Oh, kena korek.
Taruhan dia.
Ton. Ya. Turun di bawah. Ndabo. Ay. Nah.
Itu ada di mana?
Bangata wailebu da konro.
Dalam terminal gol tu.
Milam. Doni matalan. Cu au cu na korribuli.
That's it. Eh?
Bentar.
Ya.
Oke. Berkali bu.
Bos lebe.
Bawa ampal.
Iya. Berkali.
Kau kasih kau libu.
Kongo.
Iya. Simper tu.
Abi abu betul lu. Sotia mai tahu?
Benar kamu.
Aku sendiri itu juga tahu.
Yo dok coba lihat market.
Sao cunum. Itu boleh meri tahu mana?
Paket sarang bisa kita.
Malah untuk bagian sih, geng.
Bibi.
I tahu ni. Dogen ngap. Siapa?
Kan ini bil baragut.
Jontal ciki no ko?
Iyo. Kau kena vice president.
Kena dia cuci nak property. Dia cuci mat.
Saya tak dulu ni lihat kamu boleh diam tu. Oke, boleh minta nama dan nama. Nama kita. Mana mau nak pencet?
9513544.
Saudara tetap. Begitu sudah kontras dengan komisi. Begitu baru ala kantin. Anda bibit dia terkan
Dan jangan song-song.
Itu leto.
Leto.
Dan perempuan daftar.
Saya register ke?
Register kena rangguan.
Tahu lagi apa? Bukan me register me terakhir dulu ke?
Kembali register me ada gambar.
Right. Maru tengah gori? Lendo lembule buat bukan ada ni bisnya.
Ya sama kabat kena dengan ini itu kan tu. Saya itu juga kiri. Saya kalau boleh saya udah sampai di. Ana lagi kena beli kok. Segi mana saya sering segi tahu sana kena itu kantin kita sama ni wasam kami kita sa di dengan.
Kan itu nak mundo wasam takawat. Itu kuning konon tu ada bisnis. batana chingo ya damu ya na ba chingo na pasa.
Cosa, dan itu bisnis juga nak tanya ini itu toka. Ya que bukan itu kira orang kita.
Dalam tani rei di chef Korindimur in HRDP second floor Civic Tower. Yosef Korindimur. Set
951
3544.
Mai tahun dah tak. Kaya bakar na cinema ni indo todo ke vida na wili tamata ko ito chini. Pero pa kito le chini na.
Good one.
O sea, kino tre chini kami na ko sa rin sa titulan.
Omot sembera chingo na cooperative na umili bar.
Coba.
Kongo na lawa sa kani. Dua sarang na bisnis sila betul di bar. Ya?
Ada tamu pergi. Dua tamu.
Ben.
Mr. Ben.
Benny Cobb. Sase.
Bukan kita terlalu tu kira betul tak kira tu orang kira.
Doon lang chingo na Gonzalo Italo. 951 354. Nabiyan lang ka nakating.
Taruh awak itu ya. Sa usa sinula ko mo na nanong bidya gitu ko ang balu tiyo may biko sa de kasu ko ikaw
Pero te lo que evolutivo me bico. O quello che evolutivo bico na ka.
ang kay balu tiyo may
No, tengo una politico.
ha
Gogo tama ta sa.
Dito sumunod. Bisa mo ni? Ito tank kita lagi bisa.
Sabar tu guru John. Iya. Bukan gor yang sendiri. Enggak kau sih belum apa. Macam orang tua. Iya. Hah?